Welcome gamers to part 3 of this tutorial. It's going to be an intermediate tutorial for players of Dwarf Fortress. My name is DasTactic. Welcome to the channel. If you do want to join me on a weekly sort of session, I do plan on playing Dwarf Fortress once a week, at least once a week, moving into the forward. Don't know the forward in time. I don't know how long I'll be doing this for, but Fortress Fridays. My plan is to try to do it on a Friday, which is Saturday if you are watching very, very early in the morning in Australia, which is where I am. But it'll be Friday for most of the rest of the world. So that's the plan, is to sort of do that regularly on a Friday. Now, there will be times when it just won't happen, so I'll try to just mention it in passing with my other streams on Twitch. That'll be on the Twitch channel. Sometimes I may do it here on YouTube, but anyway, that's the plan. If you missed all the action in episode 2 and wondering what are all these skeletons, these Raven Corpse mangled skeletons doing up in a tree, not just in the lower limbs, and why is there a scaffolding going up into the actual tree itself? If you missed out on all the fun, that's there for you to look at in episode 2, and I won't give away any spoilers. But it was again one of those just interesting Dwarf Fortress things that happen. It's just part of the Dwarf Fortress experience, is what we actually ended up happening through there. So there we are. We've still got certain things. We've got like a raven corpse, a buzzard corpse, sorry, in through here. We've got other buzzards corpses that we're just sort of finishing off. We've still got an awful lot to do. So this is going to, I think we're going to be going for a fair few different episodes. The danger of the terrain, and if you watch episode 1, you'll see what we set up for ourselves. We've really got some big problems, and we do have a basic military, and they're actually outside at the moment, just trying to do different sorts of things. So, for example, this one here, you can see the little down arrows. This means that essentially they're lying on the ground. And so if we have a click on them, we'll sort of see that they're unconscious. They're unconscious because they're asleep. Now, we don't have any beds. That's one thing we're going to have to go and try to change. We've still got this thing as well. Now, will you attack it? Yeah, kill the buzzard corpse is what it wants to go and do, and so that should be fine with this buzzard corpse, which is in through here. I'm still letting the dwarves go outside, even though we're being attacked. We've got 11 hostiles. I've had to run through them. They're all pretty basic. Some of them are on the other side of the river. By the way, we did actually have a message about there being a waterfall, and that somebody liked the waterfall. This is the waterfall. It's right here. It goes from level 7. Goes down to shallows and then cascades down into this particular zone through here, and then continues on down. There's a raven head that has been chopped off and sent further down, and then it gets shallow again in through here. So there is actually 2 layers to our, like there's actually a change here, and so we've got like rapids. And the dwarves do like rapids. They like these sorts of things. We might set something up to try to make something like this in the actual fortress, because we're getting some pretty unhappy dwarves. I don't think we're going to get a chance to talk about making dwarves happy in this episode. We've still got too many basic things to do. So what have we done so far? Let's have a quick look. We've got our drop down in through this other side. It comes down into this area and then extends down a bit deeper. What I want to do is I want to go down and actually set up another. Look, we've got a 1 level aquifer in here, until we get down to this layer. We then have a layer in through here of rock. And after that, we've got another layer of rock, and then we actually start to go into another aquifer. If I go and turn on my digging, aquifer, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That's just like a loamy, a silty clay wall. That's aquifer. So we have to get through this layer here. So this is quite simple. It's just a 1-layer aquifer. I'll just set this up. Actually, I won't do it yet. I'll do it later, because we do have to set it up where we end up with a way for us to be able to make use of the trade caravan. Now, I can do it different ways, and what I think I'll do is I'll ultimately plan the caravan route, and we'll do it so that it ends up inside the layers that we actually have in through here. So we've got 3 layers. Let's actually make it the bottom layer. Will be where we'll end up with the actual caravan itself, and we might even end up with it back in around this other side. That might be fun. So let's just go and do that. Now, I'm going to set all of this up in planning mode, just so we don't actually have to do it. So if I go and click on the blueprint mode, I'll have it so that we end up with an area there that we dig out. I think just 1 would be enough. to build an actual trade caravan, we need 5 for the actual trade depot. We need 5 for the depot. Plus, we need like maybe storage as well, and we also need an area for the traders to actually unload their goods. So we need sort of like a parking spot essentially. So, but we can do that, like as long as there's space around it, it'll be okay. So we'll just go and set it up so that's fairly large, maybe like this, I think. So it's going to be the trade area will just be in the middle here. We'll access what we're doing in through this other side, and we'll now just sort of start to work our way back in around so that we can actually get into having the trade caravan start to sort of move up through the various levels. If we have a bit of a look to see where we are above, let's just see where we are up above in through here. And so what we might do is actually end up building down to this side, and then we'll dig across a little bit. And I'm going to ultimately end up with 2 channels down. I need to channel 2 past the aquifer, and then sort of deal with the aquifer. So let's just go and do that as a matter of course. The first one will then go through the aquifer and through here. And at that point, I then need to go and dig in around where the aquifer actually is. So, and I'll be digging this probably from the bottom as much as from the top. So I'll just go and do this as well, in around that thing through the actual aquifer itself. And at this point, we're going to have an area that goes down once, down a second time. We'll ultimately then end up with another drop down here. I could actually end up with maybe even another, actually, sorry, this one here. We'll then go through the aquifer, and then we have to go down another depth as well. So we go down there, then down underneath here, which will actually be damp, but we're going to have wood placed in through here, so we're actually okay through there. And then we're going to be hitting the entrances back in across this other side. I'll just keep it coming straight down as we sort of bring this one forward. I'm just going deeper and deeper down. How did we go? No, we did it the wrong place. That one's going to go there. And then we should be, yeah, we're coming to the middle here. All right, that should be fine. So at that stage, I'm just going to go and remove most of this. Actually, I've left just 1, 2 little. What I could do is even sort of set up another zone a little bit further along. So maybe we actually end up having it come in here. So if I go and remove all of this, and then we have the drop down that's here a bit further over. So it's going to ultimately channel down through here. So we'll just go down into the channel. I'll just make doubly sure that we're just going to, oh God, I keep on screwing this up. Get rid of those. So channel down or channel up, whichever way we want to do it. Channel up through there. Okay, that's going to keep on coming down. We need to make sure that one is actually right. So we're going to ditch that one. This one here is not right because that one is also directly over the top of the other one, which we don't want. So that one is incorrect. Get rid of that. Just have to make doubly sure this all then carries in. We may end up with another drawbridge in here, just to sort of get a bit more security. So there's a lot of security. Let's have a look and see if this now works. So as we come down, it's going to come back in around this corner. We channel out both of these going through the aquifer. When we hit the aquifer layer, before I unlock these, we'll then dig this out and then block it up with what am I trying to say? Block it up with wood or with some sort of block. So we'll get the blocks in through there. Then we channel out even further. It then comes down into here. We channel out the next one. It then continues on and we channel out that one, and then we continue on. So that then goes around to where the actual trade caravan will end up being. Now what we might do here is actually just go in and unblock this part of it, because initially it's not actually a caravan that comes. The initial entry is actually going to be a just some dwarves with pack animals, and so they can just come downstairs or do whatever else they want to do. But once the full-on animals come, so we're just going to go back across and go from blueprint to normal. So we'll just go and designate that. So we'll dig that out now, for our trade caravan, because we're still going to be able to make use of that. You'll see as we do it. Next thing we've got, as we then come back through this aquifer, there's all sorts of different things I can do with that. I've got all sorts of plans. This is actually an area where we are seeing dampness because this is actually exposed, and we have this exposed into here. That's interesting. There's nothing underneath there for some reason. But this is actually because this layer here is aquifer. It's then leaking through the floor, but this is actually still solid. So it's got nowhere to go, but this is all damp. And then we actually hit the first of our actual zones that we are using to set things up. I'm going to show you a very quick way to clean up the fortress, even at this early stage. I've got all sorts of different rock everywhere. I've got gems. These are like bloodstones. We've got ore. We've got rock. So there's a heap of different stuff that I want to essentially sort. So I want to sort of just get it out. Eventually this will be where I store everything anyway, but I just want to start off with some way of actually getting some sort of basic storage for this stuff. So to do that, I'm going to auto dump, which is actually one of the the DF hack commands. It's just something that I allow myself to do so that I can actually just clean up the look of the fortress. I do this fairly often. Some people can think of it as cheating. I don't. I just think of it as just a way of cleaning things up. There's different ways I can do it. I can either go and click on different items and make it so that they're not visible. So I can actually go and do that, and it's then disappeared from where it is. If I bring it back, you can see it there. So that's one way, just so you don't see it. The trouble is it's still actually there. And when we put a stockpile in, it will take up spot in the stockpile. So we don't want that to happen. So the easiest way to do it is to just use auto dump. So I'm just going to go up to the top of the fortress, and I'm just going to find where I start to actually go through rock. I've got rock in through here. I might as well grab that as we go. So let's just now go to this little tab. This is the designate items tab. So we're going to go and do this one. We're going to go to the dump in through here. Designate an item for dumping to a dumping zone. We'll be using this in a few different ways over the course of the game. So I'm just going to go to this one through here. We'll just go and grab those rocks, and you can see it's got a little trash can or bin sort of symbol. As we come back down through here, there'll be more and more rock, like we've got a bit of sandstone there, for example. So I'm just double clicking these as we go. I can marquee select if I'm wanting to as well. That one is on a different layer. I'll just grab all of that. Even these on this layer, I'll just go and grab just the stone. In this case, I'm not going to grab the gems. I'll put them into a different auto dump if I can be bothered. But this will help really clean up the fortress. And so we'll just go and get all of those. It just so happens that most of the stuff down below here is all actually metal, which is fine. These are all part of an existing area, so that's actually all okay. I'll grab those, grab that and this. I want to make sure I don't go over the middle, just in case there's something that's been built. I don't want to be dumping beds or anything else that might actually have been already created. Stone in through there. Anyway, I'll pause, go through and just select all of the stone actually for dumping. It's got a horrible feeling I actually have the pause on it. I actually can't even check. I have just very, very quickly, what I've done is I have auto dumped. I'll just do the same process again. I've auto dumped all of the stone into here. And I don't know if I had the pause, if I've got the pauses in the opposite direction. I'll do the metal and show you the process again, so just in case. So I've got all this metal stuff in around through here. You can see how much cleaner it is without the rock. And again, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself into here. The first step I want to do is I want to go and select all of these for dumping. I just go across into designation, go into the dump, designate for dumping, and I just select, in this case, all of the metal items. I'll leave the gems where they are. We'll just go back down into this instance, grab these metal items, grab that metal item. There's a lot of metal ores in through here. I don't know where I'm going to place these just yet. We're probably going to be further down into the fortress, but I'll just grab them from somewhere. And we'll just have a quick look through the fortress until we sort of find more of them. I don't think there's any up this way. So we'll leave them all where they are. So there's not too many, I don't think, that I have to really worry about. Got a few in here. So I'm just grabbing the metal, just the metal ores, with a view eventually to using these to sort of kickstart a metal industry. And look, I might just use them in this instance. I don't think we've got any else further down through the fortress. So let's just go and place them I'll place them over this other side in through here. So with those all selected, what I need to do is just go in so I can see the cursor. And again, I'm not sure if I showed you how to turn that one on. You just need to go up into your settings. I keep it on all the time, but you can just go into settings, then go to game and turn on the keyboard cursor. It doesn't matter, it doesn't get in your way. So just with that one selected, designations turned on, just use the arrow keys, not the WASD. I'm just going to auto dump it to there. And so in this instance, with that one selected, I then just go up into, I can either do Control Shift D, or I can go and click on DF hack and just go and turn on the GUI launcher and just type in auto dump and enter, bang. So now 35 items were now quick dumped into that location. All that metal stuff was actually done. Right click to remove that. These were a little lock and the curly brackets showing that it actually has been locked. So all that magnetite has now been locked up, locked away. We start off by default having claim a forbidden item. Just marquee select around it. It's now available for use, but it's all in one nice clean little stockpile. So that just cleans, that's one way to just clean up the fortress at different times. So I do that every so often just to make the fortress look nice and neat. This then becomes usable and we're sort of ready to go. But what I think I might do now is start to bring the items. I might wait for this to be dug out before we sort of do anything else actually. So I'll just keep on working in this little area. We're going to need to build a kitchen layer now. So what we did at the end of the last episode, if I just go down to the bottom layer of the fortress that we've actually got, we've set up this area for setting up like the various farm plots, but they haven't been built yet. So we'll wait for that to be built. I'll just unpause. Now we may have other things going on. We'll just double check. That's all the old stuff. I'll let that one go. There's a lot that our a few dwarves are sort of trying to handle. This one was suspended. I'll resume construction of these as they trigger. We ultimately have to get this nice and secure. Oh, sorry, we've got it on pause. There we are. That would help. Okay, we've got more fighting. Okay, Cole is still fighting. What are you doing? God, it's still happening in there. I think that's old. It's the raven mangled head. This one's still asleep outside. What else have we had? The peasant Erdem is fighting. Buzzard corpse. It was out here. Yep. So it's chopped the head off the buzzard, and that actually happened in the air. So that's okay. We'll just we'll let things sort of continue on here for a little while. And that's Erdem coming back inside. So I think we're okay. So I'll just right click that one through there. I'll have a quick look at my squads. No special orders. I might still actually, I could station them just on the outside here, just so that they actually end up doing things. This one's still asleep. Yeah, I might, just to protect everything. So I'm just going to give them a station order, even though they're super tired. I'm still asleep, that'll be okay. So I'll just come out here and just patrol. They will wander off and get food and drink, whatever they require. Got more fighting. The buzzard is fighting. Buzzard strikes the spear dwarf, but the shot is blocked with the copper shield. The spear dwarf pulls the okay, it did actually get lodged in this one, and then it stabs the corpse. Yeah, severed parts, sails off there as well. That's all okay. Just get rid of that one. So we're going to be going through. We're clearing out the hostiles as they attack, and so yeah, it is good to have them up there. This is just work orders that are now being completed. We went through work orders in the last episode. As we start to bring in other industries, I'll then go through those a bit more as well. Actually, I might just keep it up on F1 and just have a bit of a look around. Here they come. Yeah, see, it's just finishing off. All these are being attacked. This one's still asleep. So we're doing all. This one's now. This turn's turned to sleep. Here comes a buzzard to attack it. It's not even waking up. We're not seeing any real problem. Oh no, there we go. We've got some dwarven blood. It still hasn't woken up. It's actually now injured. So I shouldn't have let this go on for this long length of time. Neck is torn open. The neck is bruised. All right, time to attack this particular one with everyone. So let's go and confirm that one. Hopefully that will then wake this one up. Come on, get up, get up, get up. Still unconscious. There we are. That's cleaned that one out. We have one injured citizen, but no functional hospital. This is a problem. Okay, so when we actually have a serious injury, which we now have, you can see the blood. This is Erdem's blood. So Erdem is still unconscious or asleep. I think that what's happened here is if we have a look at Erdem and actually what actually happened with this, there'll be lots and lots of recent attacks where the buzzard just really, really hoed into Erdem. We're not seeing anything else back and through here. Latches on firmly. Yeah, so there's just lots and lots of pecking away with the buzzard. So so that went on. We let that go for way, way, way too long, and now we've got an injury. So we now have another emergency that we now need to sort of try to deal with. And again, you won't have these emergencies with a standard fortress, but we now have one. What I can do is I can either just let things develop the way that it's going at this point in time, which is actually a mistake. If I don't address this, there could be infections. There could be all sorts of really negative things that could actually happen here. So I'm going to have to build a hospital, and the hospital doesn't have to be very big or important initially. Let's just go down and figure out where we're going to build this. So at this layer here, in the long term, I could just build a little makeshift hospital even in the corner here and just be done with it. And that might be all we can really do at this point in time. The trouble is we need access to water. And we don't have, yes, we do have access to water. We do have access to water because we had dug initially through through here. And so we dug into and we sort of found ourselves with an area, and this is slowly filling up. It's not quite there yet. This ultimately will end up filling up with water. So there's water trickling in to this location. I'm going to make this whole location here a water source initially. So I'm just going to go into my zones, and we're going to go into water source. So your citizens will drink at a water source zone or gather water using buckets for various tasks. This is useful if you don't have a functioning well and you want to control exactly where the tasks take place. So rather than do it outside from the river, we'll do it from here. See if we can do it from here. So we'll just go across into water source. We will now go and click on the zone. So I'll just go and click all of that. That's going to be my water source. So we'll end up having it through there. At the moment it's 0, 0. I'll just go accept. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and make, like, this is temporary, but it'll do eventually. So what we're going to be doing with that one is allowing that to be the water source eventually. I'm just going to have to let them go outside and use the river as an actual water source as well. We've got no special orders with these guys. I'm going to need to still leave them outside. But we have the injured dwarf. So let's go and set up a makeshift hospital. And there shouldn't be too much we have to do, but we do need to, like if we just go back through this first layer, let's just make this a hospital in here to start with. And is this the best place for it? It probably is at this point because we just need to do something. I could make even that the hospital just for right now. I might do that actually, and then we'll change it again afterwards. So we don't have that much wood in here anyway, so let's just go and repaint this zone. Get rid of that. Just get rid of the stockpiles. And so we'll make this into an actual hospital. Now, if you're unsure how to make a hospital, and this will only be a makeshift hospital, but if you're unsure how to do it, we've got a few different things that we need to do. We need to have a doctor, so we'll need to get, in fact, I'll do it the way that the game will tell you what to do. So we'll go to a zone. Now, if we hover over these things, it'll tell us different things that we can do. So a meeting area. This important zone is where your citizens will gather to socialise. Crucially, the meeting area is where locations such as taverns, temples, hospitals, and the like are established. So we use the meeting area to create a hospital. So we go and click on that one. just going to go and build it into this whole little area through here for now. And so that will become it's a meeting area. We'll go and accept. I can then click on this button through here to assign a new or existing location to this zone. I'm going to go and click on this one and go to new hospital. Done. So the Sanctuary of Bells is what it's called, is the actual name of our actual hospital. So if I then go across, now we've got another little thing. So set the details for the assigned location. This is where you can get all the information of what we need to put in here. So we just go across, you need to assign a chief medical dwarf to utilize a hospital. So that's the first thing we need to do. Now we do have somebody that's got very, very basic doctoring skills. So if we go across into our nobles, which is where we sort of allocate different things, we've got the chief medical dwarf. Go and click on the plus. And we have a novice diagnostician, which is Dishmab, the farmer. So the farmer is going to be our first doctor. And we may end up with someone better, but in this case, that's our chief medical doctor at this point in time. And chief medical dwarf. Go back to zones again, click on this zone, click on through here. And now we have a whole lot of other information. Like who is welcome to be treated here. And I'm going to make it so that it's not the first one, which it means treat anybody that wanders in. This is only going to be for citizens and long-term residents. So anyone that we give a petition to will be able to use it, and any of the citizens will be able to use it. I could just make it to citizens only, but I will keep it to long-term residents as well. Now it's showing that we need to have beds, we need tables, traction benches. We're not going to get traction benches, so we're going to be failing in that area. Chests, we need actually a couple of chests as well. Now we don't actually have any chests, so we'll have to go and build them. We've got thread, cloth, splints, crutches, a powder for casts. We actually do have, we're wanting 5. At the moment we've got 0 of these, buckets and soap. So these are all things that we're going to be requiring. Now soap is actually fairly important, but we've got no way of actually making soap at the moment. So I'm not going to be able to do it. And that means that we're very likely to get infected with anything that happens until we actually do get soap. I probably should have bought some soap to take with me. The doctor, so that we've got the actual hospital, we need to assign a doctor does the diagnostician, the surgery, and the bone doctor. So if you just select doctor, we end up with a general practice sort of surgeon. If we or we can actually have specific doctors assigned to specific tasks. In our case, we're just going to go back across, and we're just going to go and choose our diagnostician novice surgeon as Dishmab. So Dishmab is going to be our doctor for now. So that's the doctor is satisfied. We need beds. So all of these things need to be in here. So let's just quickly go and have a look at this one through this other side. So we're going to need to. I'll pop a couple of beds in here. Again, this is only going to be temporary. So I'm just going to go across into placement, furniture, beds. I'm going to go to planning mode. It's just easier to do it this way. I'll just put in a couple of beds in through here like this. So that's a couple of beds selected. I'm going to go into planning mode. I'm going to go to furniture. I'm now going to go across to chests, and I'm just going to go and place 2 chests in this location. You can see there that we haven't got these built, so we need to build those. And I'm also going to place 2 tables next to the beds. In fact, I could move that one across, but we're not going to get traction benches anyway, so that's all going to be fine. The bed is for recovery. The table is for surgery, so it's a surgeon's table, but it's just a table. So we just go into furniture, table, that one, and then that one also has to be built. Now we've already got a work order for tables, so that will be fine. I'll let these actually get built, but we don't actually have a work order for chests, so we need to go and add that. So as we need things, you might as well just build work orders for them. So we're just going to go into the work order menu. Now a chest is also called a coffer, so there are 2 different ways of having them. If I go across, these are all the different work orders that we've currently got. Let's go and add a new one. This is going to be done. We're going to do this one at the, because we've got so much stone, we're going to get the Stoneworkers Workshop. And we're going to change this across to coffers, which is still a chest. So we're going to go coffer. And so I'm going to make just one of these at a time. And the way of doing this one is going to be that we have rock coffers, and we'll have a maximum of maximum of say 2 at this point in time. We can always change this as the fortress gets bigger, and we just want to have at most 2. That's satisfied. So we'll go and build one until we keep on using them up. And that's pretty much it. Again, we shouldn't run out of hard rocks, so I'll just leave that one where that is. So that's all we need to do for the coffers. We've already got the tables, the beds have all been done as well. So it's all sort of ready to go. And that's pretty much it for the hospital at this point in time. So the one thing we don't have is soap. So we'll have to, like, that'll be another episode where I usually just go through how to build a soap manufactory. We're not too far off getting what we need, but it's a little bit involved to actually go and do it. So I'll just have to deal with the infections as they come. And you can see that our dwarves are really getting stretched with what they have to then go and do. Let's just unpause, let them sort of come and build this as well. So we're looking at all sorts of different things that are now being built. Here we've got Erdem, the peasant, is actually just recovering, actually sleeping on the floor. Now we'll get Dishmab. This is the chief medical dwarf, is sleeping at the moment, so just falling asleep on the stairs. Eventually we'll have to go and I might just show this actually as we go through. So this is unconscious and injured. If we go to health and we have a look at the treatment, we can see that there's actually been, the diagnostician, it's already been diagnosed, as in it needs cleaning, it needs sutures, and it needs dressing. So for that one we need water, for that one we need thread, and for this one we need cloth. And we do actually have the basics of those here in the fortress right from the very, very start. But we need to get the hospital decked out first, so let's just let things develop. We're getting more fighting going on. I might just double check. There's now 7 hostiles. Let's have a bit of... Oh, they're coming inside. See how they've actually made their way inside? We need to stop this. These are buzzard heads that have rolled in to where we actually are. This is the militia commander. So unfortunately they have to just keep on fighting. This is thread in through here. This is cloth. This is what we need to dress the wound. Struck Jasper. Yeah, so Erdem cancels sleep, resting injury. Interrupted by buzzard corpse as well. Now, I don't think that's happening yet. I think that must have been before. Yeah, we're down, like we're in here now. Eventually these beds will be placed. There's just too much going on. All right, let's go and get our military to go and deal with this other threat. So we'll just have to go and deal with it. Now, these guys have actually now hit the door. If we go into the door, it's still saying it's passable at this point in time, and we still have buzzard heads out here as well. These have all been chopped off the buzzards, and again it's not really a big problem at all for our military. So let's just get our military dwarves to go and start to hit these. Confirm. Bang, that one's done. Next one. Confirm. This one's coming back. Buzzard heads are fighting, so they've now been destroyed. Okay, rock blocks. One group of rock blocks was then done. Let's go back up the top. Still got this one as well. You can see it's on the ground with the little down arrows, so we'll just go across, kill that as well. Got that one done now. Okay, this is the militia commander doing all of this work. That one's now gone as well. And I think I'm still going to leave... Actually, what have we got left? 4 hostiles. We've got the one in the river. We've got the hedgehog on the northern side. It can't get across to us. We've got the owl on the northern side, and that one's actually a fair way away as well. Let's actually just give the no special orders, which will allow the everyone to go back to their normal day jobs, and we'll just go and watch what's actually happening now down below. Again, there's so much going on in this fortress. I love it because it's so engaging and so interesting with what's actually happening. Let's just see where we're up to, because we've got so much to do. So I'll keep on pausing just to try to get a feel for things. Nothing has been built in here yet. Have we built? We haven't built all of this yet either. I'll leave that where that is for now. And as we come back down, we did actually try to prioritize these. And so it's just waiting, unfortunately. Let's just go and see what else we end up having. So we're building this wall, which is good. So we're slowly getting more of this done. but we just have to wait. So there's just way too much stuff going on at this point in time. Let's just go back down to the hospital layer, or to that main entrance, and just watch what actually happens into here. There's a table, but that's not where we want it placed. That one you can see is actually, it's got a work order. It should be used to be placed into here or over here. Eventually. Now it's still recovering, but there's there we go. Now what happened there? Store item in bin. We might find that that actually there may have been a bucket. Like if we have a quick look and see, is she carrying a bucket? She's carrying cloth. So I think that she helped dress the wound at this point in time. If we have a look at the health again and go to treatment, no treatment has been scheduled. So he's been washed, or she's been washed. Has got a neck torn open. If we go and look at the history, so evaluated and cleaned at this stage. Cole did the cleaning. Anyone can do the cleaning. So evaluated by the chief medical dwarf, and if we still have a bit of a look, the neck is still torn open. Now, unfortunately, she is susceptible to disease and is flimsy, so that may become a bit more of a problem. It should show us that it's got no treatment scheduled, and there really should be. I'll just keep it here until we sort of start to see other changes. There's still a lot going on here. Started raining, just normal rain for a change. So woodworker cancels making the bed, so interrupted by a buzzard head. Let's have a quick look and see where that actually is. That's up in here. So the buzzard head has come back to life yet again, and so it's she was going in here to actually make a bed. Let's stop this. And let's remove this from this location, just because it's now getting too dangerous. Now this is passable, but it's wedged open by a buzzard mangled head. Now this is going to make this fairly useless. We'll keep all that open where that is. We've now got 5 hostiles because of that head. So we just need to get our military yet again just to come and deal with it. And there's other ways of doing this, but I'll talk about that when it's time. This is just the head rolling around. Here they come. You dealt with it. There it is. There, the mangled buzzard head. So we can actually set up complex orders of patrolling, which I don't think I'll do yet. I want to do that one eventually. Now, one thing you'll notice, we're starting to get some cages now that are being built as well. So we're doing different things with the fortress. There's no special orders here. We're sort of running out of time all the time, unfortunately, with this because of what's going on. Yeah, it's a bit of a trick, a bit of a worry with what's going on. This still hasn't been built at all. Let's just allow it to come through. Back into working into here again as well. So they're still going up and getting different things. They may be working in the bottom of the fortress. Again, if I'm unsure, there's a bucket that was used for cleaning. We can now sort of see that there's no injuries left because we've sort of dealt with that, but this is I'll still set this up as a temporary hospital at this point in time. 2 are now really unhappy, which is a big problem. 2 are quite happy in the fortress, but it is becoming an issue. So Erdem has become a peasant, so that's okay. I did tell you it's going to be a hard one that we end up having. Let's just keep that one away. Rock mugs are being built. Spear dwarfs. Yep, so that was old. Okay, let's continue on. It'll be dragging wood down to the... Oh no, it's dragging it into here to start to build different things. So making beds. Human bowman is visiting, that's okay. Make rock tables has been completed. Weather has cleared. It's now important that we check the weather. So it's still very slowly waiting for things to actually happen. Sometimes we'll need to have 2 of these just so we can sort of get things done. There's the coffers coming up next. So look and see, we've still got other work to be done in here, which is fine. There's a petition. I'm not going to worry about the petitions. I'm just going to deny these at this stage. They don't help us with the actual fights that are important to us. Oh, hostiles just suddenly went through the ceiling. Heaps of crows. Okay, so just again, we can deal with these. They're way up in the north. That's all we got that we have to worry about. So we'll just go F1. So we've got the peasant is storing items in stockpile. So we're just getting more logs and bringing them down. Is that Erdem? Yeah. So Erdem, again, if we have a look at the health, no health problems. But if we have a look at the description, we've got the neck is dented, meaning it's scarred. So we've got scarring on the neck from the attack. I'll only really worry if things actually come back through. It's all okay. Ah, we've got migrants. Some migrants have arrived. Now, if they're on the northern side of the river, we've got problems again, which we have to solve. Let's see where they are. Some migrants have arrived. They've arrived in the south, so we don't have to concern ourselves with them. So they'll actually end up coming. Here they come now. So we've got ourselves another woodcutter, Erdl, and we have another. We have a herbalist as well, which is a bit useless for us. Maybe only the 2. It looks like that's all that actually came through. There may be more. I'll unpause in just a second, but they can just make their way straight into the fortress at this point in time. So that's 2 more hands, which will then certainly help. I'll just let it go for a little bit longer. No, there's nothing else coming. That's it. Okay, so they're going to go back in. They're going to relax for a little while, and then they'll get to work. So that's good. That's another one that we've now got coming into the fortress. And it's Rakust. Okay, that's one of our military. You're probably one of the unhappy ones, I would guess. We'll leave that one alone. Pick up the wood. Right, let's go down to the bottom of the fortress yet again. We'll just go to the bottom depths and then just come back up to where we've got our little area, which is in here. Slowly building more and more of this, but it is just taking a bit of time. There's no blockages there, which is good. This is interesting. We're now starting to see the farm plots coming together. This one is still a farm plot that hasn't been constructed yet. This one is actually a farm plot ready for planting. Now, by default, it'll come in with sort of its own defaults anyway, and you could just leave it at that if you're wanting to. But we actually have 4 different seasons, so spring, summer, autumn, winter. Plum helmets are our staple food. This is actually our most important food. And so I always want to be building, like really just growing one lot of plum helmets if I can, all the way through. So if I go into here, this is spring is leaf fallow, we'll make that into plum helmets. Autumn, I'll make that plum helmets here as well. Winter, I'll make plum helmets. Now dimple cups, we didn't bring any seeds for dimple cups for the simple reason it's only for dye. So it's only for the cloth industry, and we're not interested in that at this stage. That's not going to help us with survival. So I'm just going to grow dimple cups all the way through. So that's at that location. So that will be just purely for dimple cups. And then we'll sort of split it up a little bit with the other one. They'll come in now and start planting dimple cups from the seeds. Yep, so they're now growing. The planter has, or the farmer hasn't come across into here yet. But at least we're getting started here, which is good. So this is the start of this process. Yes, we're actually out of plum helmet spawn, but this will now grow another batch of plum helmets. Now, a few little things. We need to now start to specialize different zones. I'm going to create a seed stockpile in here, like a little room, just for seeds. So I'm just going to go and dig this out, and I'll dig it out so that it ends up being a bit like, actually I won't do that, I'll just close that one off, turn that one, so we will actually dig this, and I'll dig it into here. There we go, so we've ended up with a bit of a fairly big room. Why not? We don't need it anywhere near this big, to be honest, for what we're doing. In fact, I might even Might even make it a little bit smaller. Let's go and do that, and then just get rid of some of the other. Yeah, I'll get rid of some of the other bits and pieces. We don't need it that big. And yep, I'll just keep it 10 that we end up having with what we end up as our actual seed stockpile. That one got cancelled. We'll resume. Oh, here we go. Raven is fighting, and the peasant Erdem is fighting. So let's go up to the top and have a bit of a look. So we've got all that damage. Okay, so the ravens have now made their way back in again. There's a wing that's now fallen off. There's a raven corpse back over through here. These are rotting buzzards on the outside. We are going to have to find a way to clear this coal yet again, the woodworker. So it looks like we may have more issues. So let's just go and get our military. Now that we've got 2 more extra workers in the fortress, we can sort of put these on station a bit more often. So we'll just go back to the military, back in through here, turn them on, station, and just in around here somewhere. There's 8 hostiles left. That's good. The frogs don't worry us, they're just vermin. And there's nothing really that we have to worry about out here at this point in time, so we'll just sort of leave them out there. They don't like being out here, which is why they're becoming unhappy. There we go. We just got to keep doing this. So all 3 of them are actually out here now, and they're grumbling. So they really don't like this. But someone's got to do it, so they sort of really required to do this one. Now, a few other little things we now need to go and do is we have, we've done this one, we need to now, it's now midsummer. By autumn, we need to actually have this one set up ready for trading. So we're going to go into now the placing structures, and we're going to go to workshops, and I think it's workshops, maybe it's not workshops. We're going to go to trade depot straight away. So we've got a trade depot there. I'm just going to place it in the middle, like somewhere like here. And so that will then be built ultimately, and then we can trade. So that's all we need to do with that. We don't have to come back and check it. It will eventually be built. Let's just go back down the fortress again into the bottom. This has now been decked out, and we now actually have beds in the hospital. We have 1 coffer, and so they'll start to now bring into the hospital the things that we need for the hospital. So if we go and have a look at the zones again, go to the hospital zone and have a look, we can now see that there's 2 beds, there's 2 tables, no traction benches. There's going to be 2 chests at this point in time. We do have 5 of 5 thread, 5 of 5 cloth, 1 splint. We wanted 5. 1 crutch. We wanted 5. Powder for casts. We've got 5 of 5. 2 buckets have been put into there, and we don't have any soap. So that's actually where we currently are. So it's a functioning hospital now. That's what we have to worry about. So we don't have to micromanage too much. We just have to get things ready. So that's actually fair enough at this point in time. This is only temporary. We will actually make a proper hospital at some point. These guys are working nice and hard. We do actually have this area now nicely opened up. What I think I might do is just auto dump all of this magnetite as well. So I'm just going to go across into here, dump. So we're doing all this before, just to clean it up. And then I'm just going to go across, position that cursor there. I just need to have the cursor showing. And then I just go into here, GUI launcher, auto dump. Done. 31 items were then just dumped from that location and into that location through there. Some of them are usable, some of them aren't. So we're just going to go back in and unlock. There we are. So they've now all been unlocked. Just do that way. So they're all now useful or usable at some point in the future. Okay, so we've got our hospital now set up. So we've now starting to get on top of things. Let's go down to the bottom layer yet again. Now it gets a little bit annoying moving through the fortress the way that I am by scrolling. And so what we want to do is this one keeps on being suspended. And we should end up with messages as to why. And we might have a look at those in just a minute. This one we're still actually building different things, and through here this is Dishab, the medical. This is our farmer as well, and so it's just planting more seeds. Nobody's come in to collect to gather the plants yet. That will happen at some point, but we'll just there's more plump helmets that are just growing naturally, and we'll find that we can do this if we have to. Like there'll be other things we can do, but we really need to get these things built. I might just have another quick look through here. We're still waiting on this as well. There's a lot that we're waiting on. And it's just been hard because most of the wood is on the outside, up top. Right, so let's go and establish a few different zones. This is our initial, well, we've got F1 essentially is the outside, which is fine. So this is actually where we started. And so we now, like everywhere where the wagon was, is now completely overgrown with grass. God, I'm tongue-tied. So we've got grass in through here now, but this is still, if I press F1, it's gonna highlight right there. That's fine. I'm happy with that one. I wouldn't mind having, this ultimately is not going to be all that important, but it probably will be in around here somewhere, I'm thinking. So I'm just going to go into this side. If I now press H, the H key, it will then bring up the locations for hotkey. So H for hotkey. So the next one is going to be what should we call it? The upper entrance or something like this. So upper entrance, and this will be F2. So I'm just going to say, yep, do it from there, and that's been now renamed. Just press enter, and so F2 is this location. You can see that a lot of these are not assigned. I don't want to go crazy with it. Like I don't really want to bother with the trade area. I mean, I could if I wanted to. Maybe I do. I'm not sure yet about that one. Probably not. Oh, maybe I will. Trader. Designate that one, just so we can get there. I can always change these again in the future if I'm wanting to. The next important one is really our underground entrance. So I just press H. It's be F4. Underground entrance. Not really a good description, but anyway, that'll do for now. Often the workshops will be important. Not that we're worrying too much about those at this stage. That is sort of the workshop layer as well. Then we come back down into here. This will be the farming. So we'll actually just go and designate farm. So H, the farm. There we go. So we've now got down to F5. That'll do it. So I can go to F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. And I'm going to the important locations in the fortress. I can keep on adding more of these and change them around if I'm wanting to. So so that's all done. These guys, I think, are pretty unhappy with being outside. We've still got 7 hostiles. Where are they? This one's very close. That one's close as well. These are a bit too close. So I will keep them outside. We don't have too much to worry about. So let's just leave them where they are for now until we sort of really get the bottom built. Getting that bottom built is taking a lot longer than I'm actually comfortable with. What I might do is, one of the problems we have is we've got everything stored in here, and one thing we need to do is actually get our farming, like our food, under control. And that was actually the one thing I did want to actually work on in this episode. So I'm just going to go down to the bottom layer through here where we've got our workshops, and let's build our food areas. Maybe on the layer below this. Directly below. Let's just go and do that here. Just go and so we'll deck this one out. And I'll build the food over this side. Now for food, I'm not going to ever have to lock the actual locations, but I am going to need to have zones where we've actually got like a zone with storage. So we're going to need to get zones with storage, a fair bit of storage. So I'm just going to go, that's going to be one that we can have. I can sort of do this in whichever layout I actually want. So that's 2 and then 3. So if I do it that way, that's my most basic area to have different. Actually, I might just put a couple of a couple in between actually each one of these. Just put one in between and then one on each edge as well. You'll see what I'm going to do in a minute here when we sort of get this one established. Yeah, just coming back in through there, that'll do. Alright, so he's going to come through and just keep on digging this out now. Struck bituminous coal, there's coal up there. There we go, Mace Dwarf is fighting, that's okay. Just keep on looking at what's going on. Just keep on looking at the number of hostiles, if there's any other sorts of information that's actually that we're seeing. Really only got the one dedicated miner, which is fine. We have 4 which are unhappy. I think in the next episode we'll need to address this. And so this will be our food area that we'll start to sort of now designate different things with as well. We've now got 5 hostiles. Still got that one in there. That one flying around. Yep, they're all just in there. That's fine. F1. These guys are just outside hating it. Hating it to bits. Yeah, they're still everyone's still coming back in. Let's go F5. This is good. We've now got this wall done through here. We've done that one. So we're still coming down. This is growing quite nicely. There we are. Another piece of the security. Once this is actually done, and there's our seed stockpile. We're going to need to bring our seeds down here. So let's just go now and build another stockpile into here. Just go and grab that one. Accept. Now seed is part of the food stockpile. So I'm just going to go across to food. And this one in through here, just go food, and then go to custom. And so you'll see there's a whole heap of stuff. So we want to go none for any of these things. But when we've got seeds, we want to go all of them into here. So we'll just get all seeds down here at this stage. Now, there's only 5 that we really need. So a lot of these won't really make a lot of sense, but we'll just go and put all of them in this particular seed bin. Now that doesn't actually fix the problem that we've got, which is that the seeds are still up in the top of the fortress. This is still waiting construction. I can give that a priority as well. I might just prioritize getting that built so we can get some things done. If I go up to the top, F2, this stockpile, ultimately, I don't want this up here. But at the moment, it's a bit of everything. So I'm going to start to now just go to custom and go to food, go to seeds, and go none. That means all the seeds that are in here will then be taken down to the bottom. And we can slowly start to turn things off that we don't want to have up through this other side. So we'll do that one very, very slowly. Another thing we could start to do is we now have mechanisms, so we could actually go and start to prepare traps. And what we can do with that is to figure out, again, we can plan out what we're going to be ultimately building. So let's just go and do that one now as well. We're going to go and set this one up so we end up with we're going to dig down there 3 wide. We're then going to dig down here as well. Then we're going to dig this out. So it's going to come down, then this gets dug out to here. And this eventually will be used for the caravans, to sort of bring the caravans in. So that will be what we end up doing. I don't want this. In fact, that's been slated for removal. It hasn't happened yet. So that way we know what's going on. Like when we go into here, I'll just select that one. But we now know what the plan is, which means that we can start to build traps in around this, getting ready for the caravans that will then eventually come. That will also just help with if there's any sort of problem. So I'm just going to go into place structures. I'm going to go to traps. I'm going to go to cage traps so I can capture things. I'm going to use the planner, and I'm just going to go and just start to prepare a selection of traps in around this entrance, but still leave, like the caravans can't ultimately go on the traps. So I'm just going to go and position a number of these in around like this, just to sort of capture. In fact, we might even do ultimately a little bit more. And we'll leave it like this for now. We can always just get rid of some of them. So that's what we'll do initially, just how we end up with cage traps on it all the way around. I'll talk about cage traps and how to deal with them so that they become safe. But ultimately, this will then mean that any of the attacks we actually have should then be looked after fairly well. There's another one that's gone. We've still got 4 hostiles. This is good. So they're getting more and more of the wood. Go to F5. This is getting good, guys. We're starting to get the security up and running, which is quite nice. These are growing, which is great. Oh, this is the problem. This is a problem. He can still get around here. Hang on, hang on. Ah, we got a security problem here. So I'm glad I saw that. He could run down through this diagonal and then back in through here. So we need to block this off. And I don't think I can actually put a. I'll see if I can actually put a wall in there. If I can, that will be all we need to do. So if we just go across and go to constructions, walls, and I'll just hide the planner for a second. Oh yeah, it looks like I can. So let's just go and place one there. That will then block off that problem. Still got more things fighting, more ravens. I'm fixing up this one now as well. So these plump helmets are nearly all done. And so we're going to have our food situation will start to come good, even though it's pretty bad at the moment. So we have, initially we now got summer. So you can see it's now putting pigtails in. Now, we've already planted them, so I'm going to let that happen. We're going to go across to autumn. Cave wheat, we'll go and throw those in. We don't have any dimple cups. Winter, we're going to go to plump helmets yet again. Spring, we'll go to quarry bushes. So we'll just do it that way. And then next summer, I think it's too late for the pigtails. But it won't matter. It won't matter. They won't dig them up. So if I go to, now what did we have in spring? It was quarry bushes. In summer, I'll go into sweet pods. So we'll plant the sweet pods that we actually have. So we'll get those. There's 6 hostiles now on the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, that's okay. F1, we're still actually out here. Again, an awful lot to deal with at this point in time. Let's just go back down. We're still trying to build the kitchen layer. We'll just go and have a look and see if that's how that's progressing. Okay, we've now done enough to be able to almost enough. Yeah, no, we've done enough to build what we have to build in here. So to get the kitchens working properly, we've got essentially 3 different types of buildings that we need. So I'm just going to go across and start to build the workshops. So go into the workshops, go into farming, and the basics that we have. We've got the farm plot now down in the bottom of the fortress. We need a still, we need a kitchen, and we need a farmer. The farmer actually will process the cheese and milk the horses and stuff like this. So I'm just going to start with a kitchen in here. So a kitchen over this side, just with a little bit of a gap around it. So we'll go that way. There's siltstone nearby, so we'll just make it out of that. The next one I'm going to be building is the still. So I'm just going to go into workshops, farming, the still to create the drink that we need. So I'm just going to go and place that one there. We'll make that one into siltstone as well. And then the last one is just the farmer. So, and we'll just get like a basic sort of setup in here at this initially. And so with this one, workshops, farming, farmer. And that then gets all our basic stuff under control. By the way, the colour of the actual workshops will be the colour of whatever material you're using to build this. Now, if you're not using DF Hack, you will have to manage the use of what gets eaten how and what to save and stuff like that. But we're using DF Hack, so we don't have to worry about that. Still got more things going on. That should all be okay. There's nobody that's injured yet. There's no other problems, as we can still see down the bottom here. So I'll just wait for somebody to come and build these. We've still got 78 drink in the fortress. Okay, so the militia commander has started to grow attached to the copper mace. Got a human lasher which is visiting. Yep, so we're out of seeds. I'm just going to deny this for now. As I say, they won't help us much. Raven, still no injuries. 4 hostiles left now, which is good. Here we go. So we're now starting to build the farming area. Now building the still. I'll wait until they build all 3, and then I'll just go through what we need to do with each one of these. Now what we'll find is that will happen, because we've got DF hack running with different things sort of set to auto, we'll end up with this one just automatically doing things as required. We don't have to do anything with this one. This will just look after itself. But without DF hack, we have to manually tell things what to do, and we don't want to be doing that. Now, one thing I don't know is if I just go into the actual the others that we actually have, sorry, the pets and livestock. These are both male, so we can't milk them. Not that it matters. We still ultimately will need this anyway. So these are the most important ones for us, though, at this point in time. Let's go to F5. Now this one did get okay. That one worked. We actually managed to block that off, so there's no way through now in that weakness area. We'll just go and resume construction there for what it. So we must have been interrupted again. So they're now growing more seeds in through here. They've planted even more plump helmets. They're now harvesting the plump helmets. And growing more, which is great. So we've got out, this part of the industry is now working really, really well. There's no seeds being stored in here just yet, but that will happen. Eventually somebody's going to come and do this one. There are 4 that are really unhappy. It's cave wheat that's now being planted in here. It's the last little piece. Might just make that a bit of a high priority. Now, if this gets built with the high priority, I think we may have a problem further up the top, where we actually can't finish off what we needed to finish off at the top. Up in the staircase. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. I'll just keep on watching this. In fact, what I can do is I can sort of come in and see the actual the task information to see what's actually going to happen. So we've got, so the expedition leader is sleeping. There's a whole lot of, these are all different jobs that need to be done. We actually have, here we go, so Oodle, the woodcutter, is coming in to finish off the wall. We still have other walls coming in as well. These haven't been addressed yet. Let's see what happens when they do. We've got the cage traps. Now, a lot of these are still have to be constructed as well. Constructing buildings as well. Nobody's doing those. The farm plot, we've got Cole. We've got Dishab, the crafts dwarf, and we have Serol with the mechanics workshop. So they're all sort of working. Now, that's hardly any of the dwarfs, to be honest. We're actually, we've only got, what's that, 5? So something is actually happening where where things are not exactly where we want them to be. So we're going to need to, well, it looks like probably our miner has now finished doing his jobs, but I'm thinking that we just don't have access here to get out and finish that. I thought we could do it. What we're going to have to do is actually cancel that construction and build a wall, sorry, a floor out through here, then build these 2, and then build another wall in here. So we'll start with constructions, floor, and I'm just going to go and build a floor there. And I do actually have some blocks in through here now, but I've got apricot logs, so I'll just go and use one of those. And we're going to have to then get rid of it, but we'll start off there. So eventually somebody will come and dig and build that one, and then that will give access to building these 2. Now this is really becoming dangerous, having so many grumpy dwarves. Now that's been built, so these should now be able to be built. Here we go. That one's done. go. So that's now been done. The one thing we need, actually, in essence, we've still got a diagonal there. That's actually still a point of danger. So we need to now block this one off. If I go and try to construct over the top of constructed flooring, it won't allow me to do it. Oh, yes, it will, actually. I didn't think it would. So I will go and build just a siltstone. Actually, no, I'll just make this out of wood as well. So we'll just go and do that one as well. So we can actually build over the top of flooring. Yeah, that's right. If we have flooring, we can still build wall. If we don't have flooring, it'll create a floor area for itself anyway. Rock mechanism's now complete. And this should be the end, really, of our securing our fortress in terms of the outside world in that sort of sense. Let's go back up the top. A lot of these have been built now. Oh no, they haven't been built, sorry. They're still waiting on construction. So we'll just wait for these to sort of come through. Still got 4 hostiles. What I might do is I might actually let these guys off just so they can do their own thing for a little while. So no new orders. In you go, guys. Go and have a well-earned rest. Now, one thing we also don't have is we don't actually have anywhere for our dwarves to actually go and rest properly. So we'll go and set up that now as well. Just something little and simple. It really could just be in the corner for all we care. Really, it really won't matter. Oh, these have all now been built. Okay, let's do this one first. So, with what we actually end up having through here, we now need to go and give them orders of what to do. Now, the kitchen will process a lot of different things. If we go back into our work orders, so the work orders in through here, and just go and add in basic things. If we go to each of these areas, the kitchen can produce easy, fine, and lavish meals, or can render fat. Now, I'm just going to go to easy meals, and we're going to start to produce biscuits, which is what the dwarves will enjoy to eat. So easy meals are for your low-level citizenry. Fine and lavish meals, depending on how important the people are that are actually living in your fortress. So initially, the easy meals are fine. So we'll just go and do that one. Other things we need, you can see we didn't need anything else there. With the still, we'll just go across into the still. And so we've got brew drink from fruit. We've got brew drink from plants, which is what we need. We can extract things, or if we've got honey, we can make mead. So we'll just go brew drink from plant. We'll do that one. And in terms of the actual farming area, we don't have anything we can really go and do. We've got nothing we can shear. We've got nothing. So it's just, at the moment, just sitting there doing nothing. So I won't actually do anything else there. They're the basic things that we need. Now, I'm going to be making a fair few of these at a time, maybe sort of 5 of those at a time. And I'll also try to brew, say, maybe 3 drinks at a time. These will be barrels of wine or beer or whatever it might actually be. And so with the meals, we'll just go back into here. So we need unrotten, if the amount of unrotten prepared meals is, and I'll just pop that one in. We also need unrotten cookable solid items as well. So we'll just go into that one through there. So they're that's what we need to actually have. So we've got the unrotten cookable items. If you'll go to, not the solids, let's go to just unrotten cookable items. Yeah, we don't actually even have 10 of those at this point in time. So we've got more than 10. We've still got more food than which is just raw food. So I'm going to allow that to be what that is. So if we've got less than, and I should just change that to is at most 10, so that's fine. And as long as we've actually got, if the amount of actually no, we've got even less. I'm just going to change that to 5. Cookable items, that should have been okay. I'll leave it there for now. If we have a look at the food, at the stocks, and have a look at the food stockpile, and just see what we've actually got. Plants, we've got 16, we've got plump helmets, that should be enough. We've got pigtails as well. It may be that they're going to eat these raw. Let's double check on our seeds. We've got some pigtails, we've got plump helmet spawn. That's good, we've got a fair bit of that. So we've got all these different things to then start to grow, which is fine. Now we should still be able to build. Actually, we need other meats and things, so on and so forth, to do different things in through here. Let's just wait for this to be built as well. Just go down to the bottom of the fortress. This has now all been set up, so we've actually now got all of this has been designated. So we now just wait. They'll just come and pick up as things grow. They'll just bring the raw plants in. That's all okay. I think we may need more than just the basic staples. We may need like meat and stuff like this. We've got no meat left, and we don't want to be cooking this stuff. Now, if I make a butcher's shop, that starts to make life a bit difficult for us, because things do come back to life. But that may be something that we end up looking at doing, just so we can start to eat the zombie flesh that's there. Actually, did we fix this up? No, this still hasn't been done. Let's make that into a top priority now. There we go. Job taken by. So we've actually now got that one coming in. Done. That's now secure. We've now secured everything through this part of the fortress. Now let's go and talk about this area again as to what we want to be doing. We want to have different ways of sorting the different types of food that's going to come into this. And we also want to have, so I'm going to create some stockpiles in here. We can always chop and change these. Let's just make basic ones where we end up with a stockpile here that is going to be for drinks. So we'll just go and accept that one. This is going to be a food stockpile that is going to be just purely for drinks. So I'm just going to go none, and then we're going to go to drinks from any sort of plant, any sort of wine. So that would be fine. I do also have drinks from animal, which is going to be sort of like mead. I'm not going to worry about that. You might as well. I'll just go all with that one as well. So we're just going to allow those to come through. We also are going to ultimately need to have prepared meals somewhere, but we'll do that somewhere else. So the next stockpile that we want to have as we come back through is to create a new one next to this one. And then this will be, we'll accept that one, and this will ultimately be food, custom. I'm just going to go none. And in this case, we want to have, actually I'll go all. I don't want prepared meals in here. But I won't have unprepared fish either. I'll just go none of those. I don't want drink in here because we've already got one for drink. And but everything, and we don't want seeds, so we're just going to go none there as well. So we're sort of doing the opposite of what we've already got. So anything else, in fact, all this pressed stuff, I don't need any of that. Don't need that. Extracts, we don't need venoms. Paste, I don't need that either. Fat, I actually don't need that either, so I'm just going to get rid of that one. The mill plant, this is okay. Fruits and leaves, I'll leave all that there, not that we'll ever get any. So that's what we're just going to have as our basic ingredients for cooking. We need meat or fish, actually, to be able to do this effectively. I've got to think about how I do this, because I do have to be careful with how we go about doing this one. There's still more that we have to do. Now, if we didn't have an animating biome, what I could do, and what I probably will do now, is actually set up a butcher's shop. So let's just go and do that now. Now this is going to be one of these shops that's going to be a little bit tricky, because we're going to need to have an area, I'll make it say 5 wide like that, and we also then need to have other shops that come off this. When we butcher something, we need to tan the hide very, very quickly. So let's just go and create another area in through here for tanning hides. Just go and add doors into there. So they'll both need to be isolated, because things will come back from the dead in these locations, which will become a bit more of a problem. That's all okay. This will then help. Okay, we're now going into early autumn. We can expect the trade caravans, so they'll be coming fairly soon. And I really should have set up a basic dormitory for my dwarves. This is one of the reasons that they're unhappy. I'm sure of it. Like having to sleep outside and do things like that. So we'll eventually get a message. Now that's autumn has come, that's fine. We haven't had that fog, that gooey fog, come in just yet for some time. Now, when we kill something, even like the buzzards and things outside, we will probably bring them back in now to start to butcher them, which is actually fine. So I'm just going to go across into here, workshops, farming, butcher. Maybe I'll even make the butcher the furthest one. No, I'll make it this one here. No, I'll make it the furthest one along. So the tanner is the next one. It makes leather from animal hides here. So I'll just make that the tanner. Out of siltstone will do. So these are two shops that sort of work together. In fact, I could have just used a door there, to be honest, and had this even more isolated. Just because we're in a reanimating biome, it's going to make it much more difficult. There we go, building the tanner. We can now build the butcher. So we just go back into workshops, farming, butcher, and build the butcher in the middle here. Out of siltstone as well. Okay, that one got just resume construction there. What will happen there? There's probably this siltstone is probably also being used for something. Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, item blocking site. There was something else there. I need to build more cages. This is still blocking it. We'll just keep on resuming. Okay, we've got that one through there. All right, we've got that one. It's done. Pause. Wait for these to get built. They'll sort of auto butcher things, which is fine for what we need, but there will be interactions happening a fair bit. I might even just dig through here and ultimately sort of seal this off almost completely. Maybe lock that door. Let's go and place doors in through here, so doors and hatches. Just keep on building. Just because there's going to be things coming back to life all the way through here. Ultimately, needs empty cages, so it's trying to we're trying to keep up with the building of the cages. Now that is resume construction. There was something blocking that one, but that will ultimately be okay. There we go. We're building the tanner's shop, building these doors. Aha! Now we've got the cloud of cursed murk coming nearby. Now we're not really outside, but we'll just see what it's the bottom left corner, sort of coming through. So it is actually hitting in autumn. It would be interesting to see someone actually get caught in that one. Now, if we have a quick look at the at F1, we're now starting to see cage traps coming together. This one is actually has now been done. These ones here with the black dots mean that they've actually got the cage trap, but no cage in them yet. So they have to be set with the cages. These other ones with where it's got like a grey dot around it means that it has the mechanism plus the cage, so it's actually ready to go. Now what will happen is, if these get triggered and get filled up, the dwarves will automatically come out and actually change them over, which we actually don't want, because that's quite dangerous. So what I'd suggest that you do, no matter what level you're playing, with your cage traps, just go in, and when you open it up and you can see both mechanisms and cage, lock them down. So these are now locked with the curly brackets. You can see it's forbidden. It's set, it's ready to go. It just means our dwarves won't interact with it. Both need to be set. If you don't lock the cage down, they'll come and collect the cage and bring it down into the fortress. If you don't lock the mechanisms down, they'll try to reset with a new cage. So we need to lock both of those just so that we can actually manually tell them what to do at different times. Now, of course, I don't want to do it here because we don't actually have the cage in it yet. That's that one there. We can lock down, which is great. That one there is actually ready to go as well, even though there's a bone on top of it. That won't matter. This hasn't been built yet. That one has. And so we can just easily see with the lock mechanism that, yeah, we've got them locked down. That's actually fine. So we'll just keep it coming in through here as well. And so this will actually help us a lot with getting different things. We need empty cages. That's going to be okay as well. That one there can now be locked down. Okay, supply caravan from the Livid Works is a welcome sight. So we have our first trade caravan, and we'll pause this after we do this trading. Just going to go and click on OK. Just going to lock that one down, and what we'll see is we've got to have a few different things arrive. So we have rock doors is complete. Need empty cage traps, and so what we end up having here is we've got the outpost liaison Edom from as a Kudum has arrived. So this is actually from the mountain homes. If you have a quick look and see where he is, he's on the other side of the river, or he was, but this is now frozen, and so he can actually get across here without any real problems. So that's all okay. Where is he? I'm not sure where he actually is. I didn't see him walk through, but he'll be on his way somewhere. Not sure where. Oh, that's him there. This is Edom, the outpost liaison. So he's going to come and talk with us. He's actually the king's representative or the queen's representative. And so he's arrived, and then we should actually end up with the caravan arriving right on his on his tail, essentially. So he'll come in. Actually, I'll follow him in so you can see what actually happens here. He's going to go and try to find the expedition leader. So we'll just go and track him through. So he comes in, goes downstairs, looks for the expedition leader, and then we'll talk with him. So all the way through, and now we've now got diplomacy. I'll just pause for a second. So we now actually have a few different things coming. Now we've got another, these have been caught. These are the cursed husk. These guys are fighting. Right. Okay, this is interesting. This is what we had to test. This is exactly what we had to test. So we're going to have to look at this. I'll probably let it go a little bit too far, but this now makes the fortress really, really difficult. As you'll see, that fog that was rolling in is deadly, is absolutely deadly. And the trade caravan got caught in it. So there's a lot going on here. I'm loving playing this. It's just so difficult to go through specific ways of building different things because we get interrupted all the time with all these different events. There's been so much going on. Anyway, let's just go and get rid of that liaison. Like we're talking in here. He made it safely in. We've got diplomacy, so we'll just do the diplomacy, then we'll come back out and have a look and see what's happening with the Merc. So with the diplomacy, the expedition leader, Erath, meets with the outpost liaison, Edom. Edom says, I'm your liaison from the mountain homes, let's discuss your situation. We just go to OK. So there is much to share, information added to the civilizations and world info. I'll just click on OK for now, and then we'll have a look and see what that is. He then says, make requests for next year's caravan. They'll charge more for these items. Now, things that we may need, we haven't found any gypsum, so let's go down to our plasters, which is a fair way down. So we'll go to I've got thread, cloth, ropes, bags, eggs. If they make it safely through, of course, and in this case I don't think this one will, but then there'll be all this loot outside. So we have to be careful. Buckets, miscellaneous. Will miscellaneous have it? No, it doesn't have it, what I'm looking for. I'm not sure where the soap actually is, to be honest. Soap won't be in there. Oh, it might be blocks. I think it might be under blocks. So we'll just go and pick what we need. So we do because powders, we need gypsum powder, gypsum plaster. So we definitely want that. And blocks, if we can find some. Stone blocks. Unfortunately, it's hard to find. Extracts won't be, that'd be like milk and stuff like this. Stone, yeah, I'm not seeing it there. Backpacks, we will need those actually, but I'll just leave it where that is for now. Yeah, I can't see it, that's okay. I'll just leave it where that is. Alright, so that's all we need is just gypsum at this point in time. It would be nice to get some other equipment, but we'll eventually get what we need anyway. So we'll just go and click on Done. So make requests, so they'll charge more for these items. We'll just click on Done in here. So that will do. So gypsum plaster will actually cost nearly double what we normally would be wanting to pay for it. So let's discuss what we are willing to offer. So a need for rings is expected. Now we're not going to be able to really make rings except out of bone if we do it. If you're able to provide some, then the caravan will offer 190%. So that's fine. Just go and click on OK. We probably can ignore that. Now the alert. So we've actually now got a whole lot of different things that have actually happened in through here. So we've got Avuz Bomreklar, the Dwarven merchant. Cursed Musk Husk has been found dead, and Ukum has been found dead as well. But a whole lot of other things now happening as well. So let's go across and see where these actually occurred. So these have actually come through this location here. Let's just go and right click. So they've actually gone through this this murk, which is floating around outside. So we now know that we really have to make sure that when this murk is out here, that we do not go outside no matter what. This is actually super deadly. In fact, you can see there, it's actually right where we are in through here. So we need to now make sure we're going to have to establish, first of all, that we actually stop any of our dwarfs from going out into this. This is unbelievably bad. So if we go and have a look at the actual caravan, which was around in here somewhere, wasn't it? It's on the edge of the murk. There it is. So let's have a look and see what actually is going to happen in here. We've got different things are fighting as well. So we've got the cursed Merc Husk Mace Dwarf, Domas, is fighting. The horse cursed Musk Husk is fighting as well. So these have actually become something different. Now we actually have a merchant which is fighting. So we've got one merchant which is actually properly alive. We've got a whole lot of different things now that are actually sort of coming back. We have a quick look and see. This is Avos, the mangled corpse. Now this has already been mangled by the merc that's here. Before we come and have a look and watch all the different things that are happening in through here, let's go and first of all make sure that we're safe. So I'm going to still keep the door open if they can make their way in, but we want to keep our dwarves from going outside. They have to stay inside when this fog is outside. So when that's there, we really want to sort of focus from pretty much here down, give them access in, but no further out. So just make sure what are they doing? They're going off to construct buildings. They may be going outside to do this. That one's healthy, that's okay. So the way that we set things up is with a system called burrows. I am going to allow them to come up into here. We can sort of change what that is. So this is this next little area through here, which is established burrows to organise work and living spaces in larger fortresses. But it also allows us to have an alert system that when it's dangerous, they stay inside. So we're just going to go and do that. We're going to go and grab a burrow. And all we're doing is we just basically paint an area. So I'm just going to go and paint a large, add new burrow. So we go and start painting. And we can do this through multiple Z layers. So I'll grab all of that. I'll change the color and everything else in through here as well so you can sort of see it. Okay, just make it so that it's fairly neat. There we go. So that's going to be acceptable. Let's just go and change things. And so for what we're doing through here, we'll just sort of make this one into like there's like a love heart type thing, or even a circle will do, or make that the symbol. And we'll just make it like a green. So we'll actually make the symbol color like a green like that. And then the background, we'll just make it into actually the dull green that's there is actually not too bad. The lighter I sort of make it, or the more grey I make it, I can then sort of see through if I need to see what's going on a little bit. Let's just go back to the symbol and maybe change that to a duller green. That's too much. Maybe back where it was, sort of in around there somewhere. And so that's the look of what we'll end up having for our burrows. So we can just sort of see, okay, when there's a burrow selected, that will be what we have. Now we have to make sure when we are building things that this will actually then keep on working. So we'll just go across, I'll just go accept for now. This will be safe zone, or whatever we want to call it. So safe zone, so this will be sort of inside the fortress. So I'm just going to call it that one. I'm just going to keep on painting this a little bit more. And you used to not be able to go through multiple Z layers. I'm just going to go and do that because pretty much everything that we have below where we are, we definitely want to have as burrows. And I'm going to do this all the way down to just cover everything that we've got. All the way down, actually maybe not all the way down here, but I'll still just keep it going because we don't really have access out further than this. So I'll just go and select all of that area as safe zone, even though we don't actually have access. Did I capture everything? I think I did. So we've got the zone that we can actually access. We didn't quite get everything we needed, so we'll just go and grab that. It may be best that I actually end up getting rid of some of these zones if we ever have access out here. I don't want them to think it's safe. So ideally what I should do is actually just come back in and basically get rid of the stuff that they don't have access to, really. So particularly down underneath here. Let's just go and get rid of all of this as zones that that is not safe for the dwarves. We can always come back in if we make an area safe again. We could then come back in and redesignate it. There's no problem with that. And that one off there. And so that way, even if we end up with a doorway or something like this, they won't think that they can go and sit on the outside. This is safe in through there. This is that's fine. As we come back up to that other cavern, this other layer through here, really want to sort of get this one down just so we don't think again that this could ever possibly be an area that we consider to be safe. So this is like a restriction zone for the forts, for the fort that we actually have. Now we've got other layers coming up. I'll leave them on. We're not going to. I won't worry too much about these, but maybe I should sort of do them at some point. As we come back up. We don't have all of these selected, so we just now go back and paint even more of these. Where you can make mistakes is if you start building more onto the fortress and you haven't covered enough area for your build. And so that may happen at different times when you lock the fortress down. Like, for example, this area through here will ultimately be a lot bigger than what we think. And so I'm just going to go out to there. This zone in through here, ultimately we would need to make sure that this is all covered as well. So that's now all done. And then we can just come back up through this zone, which is going to be fine. And so there's that should all be then covered all the way through to there. Trade caravan just covered it just enough. Then we've got this area now, which is filling up quite nicely. That's all good. All right, that's all we need to do. Now that that's selected, I'll just close the squad layer. If I open up the squad layer now and have a bit of a look at it, there's this little button if you've got DF Hack installed underneath where I am. So see through my shirt there, which says click to configure civilian alert. Now that we've actually established a burrow, we can now go and click on that one. And so choose the burrows where you will want your civilians to hide during danger. The one I want them to hide in is safe zone. Done. And to activate the civilian alert, I can then sound an alarm and the citizens will run to safety, which means that they'll go inside from outside and sort of operate in through here. So I'm going to activate the civilian alert. I can do it down here or in here in this instance. So I'll just do it down the bottom through here. And so now we actually have these, I'll just right click that one. So we now actually have a civilian alert in effect where anybody that's not, like I can tell these guys to go and do things outside specifically, but in this case, they may still go and finish off their orders, but we'll just go and see what actually does happen. Now, also just to finish off the concept of what we were talking about before, if we go and I'll just close them off for a second. We've still got the civilian alert active, so they're just going to only operate inside at the moment. If we click on the next button across the world screen, we're going to start to get information. So if we have a look at the center on our fort, which is way over here, we're not seeing any red at this stage for any of the goblins, so nobody's at war with us, which is okay, that's a bit less danger of some things. News and rumours. When we have news and rumours, we can go back to our mountain homes and we'll start to see movement through. This is showing that only, like this one here has been settled, I'm guessing. So in the early spring of 300, ISOS search seekers became the mayor of the Great Constructs. And you can see through there in the early spring, a group calling itself the Great Constructs reclaimed attic syrup on behalf of the livid works. Now, reclaim means that was actually a ruin that was reclaimed, and so that's actually now been done. And anything with a little white thing is showing us that there's some information there. So we've got in some information. This is a Dark Goblin Fortress with over 10,000 goblins in it. So in 299, Lorbum Priest Vessel was kidnapped from horror covers by Stozu Market Steel. So there's actually something where somebody was stolen from somewhere else and then taken to that location. This is just the rumours that we know. So we start to get little snippets of information from the mountain homes. So we've got some religious order there by the looks of things, changed hands. Yep, so we've just got little rumours all over the place. Often if we're seeing attacks, whoops, hang on. Sorry, just got called away. But yeah, so if there is a sort of wars and things like this, it'll sort of show up on here. With only with the information that our mountain homes know about. So we won't know about things so much down in this area because we don't have any people down in that side of things. But it's that's the news and rumours. Right, we'll just go and get rid of that one for a second. Let's go and have a look and see what happened over here. A lot happened. So we've got still some things that are still alive. Just go across into this other side again. And what we might have a look at is we've got the Cursed Musk Mace Dwarf, and we have a merchant. Let's have a look at it from the perspective of just this one merchant. In fact, if we go and have a look and see who that merchant actually is. Is it that one? No, hang on, which one is it? Do some merchant has been found dead. Is that the same one? Yeah, it is. So we've got Dewson was found dead. Okay, that's the last thing that actually happened. So let's have a look and see what happened from the perspective of this particular one. So just having a quick look. So we've got the merchant misses the dwarf mace dwarf cursed musk merc husk. So this one has these guys this mace dwarf in through here has been corrupted. Let's have a look at the mace dwarf. So this is a cursed merc husk. It's hard to sort of tell. So this fog is creating this particular type of I guess corrupted dwarf we actually end up having. So it's not technically undead, I don't think. So it's an adept mace dwarf, and it's still got all of its skills in through here. So if we have a bit of a look to see what actually has happened in through items, it's still got steel. Like this is much better armed than what we are, so it's much stronger than our guys. We will have wounds, treatment, history, description. So his right upper leg is fractured. I'm guessing this will be from the fighting. So it hasn't changed much other than probably corrupted his brain with what's actually coming through with that fog. So the fog is actually making him go crazy. But I don't know if it'll last for any length of time. We'll have to find out, I guess. So we've got this is Domus Wet Seal back and through here. So that's the description that we actually have. If we have a look and see thoughts, doesn't feel anything. So it's just completely not feeling anything at all. Memories, doesn't have any memories. So it's completely wiped its brain. Personality won't really matter much. Yeah, we're not going to sort of see anything useful in through there. Kills. Not really showing you much in through that side either, but this is the husk. Let's have a look and see what it's. So so bashes the horse in the right hoof, so it's actually smashing the horses. Twists the right leg, misses the dwarf. So the horse. So the horse is also cursed. So they're actually fighting each other. The dwarf spear dwarf cursed stabs. So these are all becoming corrupted as they fight. So there's a lot of fighting that went on through here. As they sort of start to attack each other, but they are killing each other as well. Yeah, so they're actually fighting each other. They've gone completely crazy. So that's what's happening with this fog, this cursed merc that's actually in through here. This one in through here is also a cursed merc husk, so it will continue working as well. If we have a look at the items, we can see. Yeah, there's nothing else in through here. Sometimes it'll sort of show you if there's coatings on them that can be washed off, but I don't think there is. I'm seeing the wrong thing. Health, description. Yeah, bruising. So these guys are going to probably just fight it right out, I think. This one here is a mangled corpse. That's a mangled corpse, which means they may not come back from the dead. Definitely don't want to be doing anything with them. They're dropping all their goods, which we will be able to go and get eventually. So we'll actually just wait. So we've got now 7 hostiles. Let's have a look at the actual hostiles. Whoa. That one's considered a hostile. That's Dishmab. The Dwarven Doctor is now a cursed Merc Husk. Okay, let's go through all of them. This is a problem. This is a major problem. This could be the end of the fortress. It's got that one, that one, that one. That horse is also one of them. That one is one of them. That one's one of them. And then we're back to here again. So this one, the Doctor did get caught out in the Merc. So it's now coming down. It's going to start chasing units. It'll probably kill all the turkeys. But here we got cold yet again. Yet again. I'm going to have to. What I have to do here is you can see it's hauling siltstone mechanisms. Now it can only be hauling them outside, so we don't want that to continue. It's got the mechanisms in its hand. I'm just going to go and with those mechanisms, I'm going to have a look at the mechanisms. I'm going to forbid them. I'm going to lock them. That will then make them drop straight away. So that's now been dropped, and that means that the job that she was doing, she still wants to haul it, but I'm going to have to stop her from doing that. Boy, this could be really difficult, except this one doesn't have any actual armor. And so I don't think that they're any stronger than what they were. I don't think it's going to come good either. So I'm thinking we have to now kill the Doctor. So we're going to go down and activate our military. And kill Doctor. So kill Dishmab. This is also our planter. This is someone that I never thought would have to actually get rid of, but we have to in this case. So this one has been corrupted. So let's just let it run forward. And unfortunately, this one's coming forward here a little bit. There we go. It's now chasing it around. A bit of fighting's going on through here. So the Doctor is now fighting. It's a real problem. So she's now running away and may run up into the top. She's got no job, which is fine. And I'm going to have to lock this at this point in time. That will then stop all of the danger from above. Let's have a quick look and see how these guys are now going as well. So they're probably still fighting each other. Let's just get rid of the messages that we actually had, just so we can see what's going on. Yep, so those merchants have been found dead. So I think that they're fighting each other, all of these guys, the horses. There should be more than one horse, though. Let's have a look at the what else is available on the. Yeah, we've got a. These have been caged, so the stray yak cow and the stray cavy sow is also. They're in the cages that have been dropped by the merchants. Other. Yeah, so there's these guys still. And there's another horse somewhere else, which has run away. This horse has actually run away from the others. All right. Interesting. Let's go back to watch our little activity that we've actually got. So we'll just go to F2. Now, she's being chased around all over the place. So the others are still working. She's been able to dodge out of his way, and is now running into the fortress. Here comes Rakust. I'm going to start to just press the. We'll just get rid of this combat in through here. So the horse has now been found dead outside. Now remember, this will now come back out as a zombie potentially. So we've got 6 hostiles left. We've got no choice here. Isn't it an amazing game? Isn't it just so incredible? This is, again, not standard, even slightly. She's getting tired. Here comes the military. And then they'll start to jump in. Oh, now the turkeys are now getting scared. The fact that the turkeys are scared of this one, I'm actually not unhappy with. Here comes the other military coming as well. Cole is still healthy. Have a quick look at the description. Bruising. Her nose is broken. Her right ear is broken. That was from before. I'm pretty sure. We'll have a quick look and see. Attacks the woodworker, but she jumps away. Punches the woodworker in the left hand, bruising the bone. Punches the woodworker in the lower leg. So he's just gone completely crazy here. Alright, so we've now got a completely crazed doctor. Now the turkeys, I want to get them downstairs as well. So let's just go down to F5 and just give them an order. God, it's so serene down here. It's so nice and serene. Just going to go into our zones. Click on this zone into here for now. And we will actually just go and allocate all of the turkeys. So if they run, we'll end up putting them down in here, which is where we want them. So add in that, and that. We'll eventually bring these inside once everything clears, if they don't die in the cages. F1, that's locked. F2, we've just got this one. So let's just watch what actually happens in through here. So they're now just all going to start running. Come on, military, get up there. Now there's still other things actually happening through here. Now remember, it's a good chance that Cole would be able to kill the doctor anyway. Now what's the relation with the actual doctor? Kindred spirit. All right, let's continue on. So we'll just watch what actually happens in through here. So we're going to now start to hit this one. Just go and yep, another cloud of cursed murk has drifted nearby. Yeah, the mace dwarf and the spear dwarf, they're going to have a long fight outside, like a really, really long fight outside. Let's just keep this one going. We should start to see blood fairly soon. Jumping out of the way. There's a bit of blood that's splattered over here. That's Cole's blood. So this one didn't actually bleed at this point. Left lung is bruised. The upper body is bruised. Yeah, so his head is cut open. His left leg is cut open. And is bruised. So we're getting a lot of fighting going on. No one's injured as such just yet, but this is still not good. So we'll just go and keep on fighting. Spear dwarf now stabbing in there, so we're going to get some other. So yeah, the woodworker. Yep, that's still actually happening. We'll just let that one continue on. Now we're seeing teeth flying all over the place. This is Cole's teeth. So Cole is actually now really being punched to pieces. Wow, this is not good. So still saying healthy there. Ability just is actually now we do have injuries. If you have a look at the description, her nose is broken, her right ear is broken, her lower front teeth are gone. So she's being absolutely smashed around in here, which is not good. Now this one has now lost it's now lost his clothing. So this is still the cursed musk. So if we have a look and see, there's also now still this Cole's blood everywhere, unfortunately. So let's just keep on going. Oh, there's lots and lots of blood under here now. Tired, pain, bleeding, pain. Not good. Get out of there. Health-wise, bleeding now. Description. Yeah, this is bad. Bad. This one is still considered to be healthy, even though we're sort of smashing it. This could be quite a dangerous attack. Let's keep this one going. Seeing more blood. He's now jumping on top of Cole. He's now sort of jumping all over the place. Come on, guys, do some damage to it. Whose blood's that? Is that still Cole? Yeah. Cole's not in a good way here at all. Okay, we've got Erdem's Amberton's blood, which is this one here. So we're actually now bleeding from here as well. Health, yep, grasp is somewhat impaired. Description. Okay, so yeah, not too bad, I guess. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let these things run through the door, and then we're going to close this door. So I'm just going to keep it just going. I'm just using the full stop key. One injured citizen, no functioning hospital. Well, because we've got no doctor, that's the trouble. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go and have to get somebody else, because the doctor is no longer with us. He is completely crazy. Let's go down a bit further and get ourselves the functioning hospital again. So as we come back down, so the chief medical dwarf is now vacant because essentially we've got a possessed chief medic. I'm going to make Erath that role as well. Actually, the herbalist, you can do it. Okay, so he can be. Oh, hang on. So we've got Cyril is now the herbalist is now going to be the chief medical dwarf, even though he doesn't know what he's doing, and so he will help, I think, and come back up. So we've still got the mace dwarf and the spear dwarf outside are still fighting. Let's just go back up to F2 and just keep this one going. Now we want to try to push them away if we possibly can. So Cole's blood is everywhere. Let's just go and keep this one coming. It's moving down a little bit. We sort of keep on jumping out of the way here. Okay, we're now on the ground. So we can see the little drop downs there. So and he's now bleeding. So we've now got problems here with Erdem. I think here comes the next one as well. All right, let's just keep it coming. There we go. Come on, guys. He's the doctor's now on the ground. So if we have a quick look and see what his health is like. Description. Yeah, so his skull is fractured. We're trying to smash him to pieces here if we can. He's basically unbreakable, quick to heal and strong. Fortunately, yeah. Wow, this is terrible. Ability to stand has been lost. Grasp has been lost. Motor nerve damage, sensory nerve damage. So he shouldn't be able to do too much else. I'm going to let it run forward now because I don't think he can do much else. But we now have to try to save Cole. There's now vomit and all sorts of things that she's now in. So let's she'll still just do little bit by little bit. And so we've rolled away from him. He's coming back in again. And still got other things actually happening here. There's more vomit on the ground. We see that when we see the green, we see a bit more vomit. How are we going in here now? You're still saying healthy because it sort of basically doesn't know what's going on. But we can see there everything has basically been mangled. So we are smashing this thing to pieces. And that's mainly going to be due to Rakus, the hammer dwarf. Unfortunately, actually, we're saying that Erdem is now healthy again. If we have a quick look and see the description, her lower body is torn open, her upper body is bruised, her upper arm is bruised, her right true ribs. It's not terrible, except the true ribs are mangled beyond recognition. Now, we don't have a traction bench, which is actually a problem. Now, it's still saying no functional hospital, but that should be functional now. I'll just keep it going. Moldath, the militia commander, cancels get provisions. Dropped by a dwarf farmer, cursed her. Yeah, that's okay. It's all right. We need to kill him. We need to kill him. So there's nothing else we can really do here. So we'll just keep it coming. So unfortunately, he did get smashed. So another one now coming in to help. Here comes another unit. Let it go forward. There we go, got him. Right, so we now actually have 2 injured citizens, no functioning hospital, 5 hostiles on the map. We'll have a bit of a look and see what's going on here. We'll just get rid of that one. So Dwarven farmer cursed Merc husk has been struck down. But for how long? And one thing we can have a look at through here, if we go to the hostiles, we've got one there, one there, one there. This one is still a hostile. So this is the cursed musk. This one is down, and this is actually a mangled hoof and a mangled mutilated corpse. So it may be, if it's mangled enough, it won't be able to fight. So we've got a pool of dwarf blood in through there, mangled corpse there. Yeah, mangled corpse there. We may be lucky, but these guys are going to have to fight it out basically until one of them gets killed. And the other horse is now trying to run off from over here. I don't really want it to come back through this zone. Got a lot going on here, like a hell of a lot. This here is, yeah, this hasn't been built yet. Nothing else has been built. God, so much is happening in such a short period of time. So we now have another problem because of the reanimating biome of what do we do with this body. And this is a major issue for us, and we have to find a way of dealing with this. And I think we do it from out here somewhere, just temporarily. We need an area to put all the rubbish that we end up sort of getting. So I'm just going to go and dig an area off through here, and then make a largish pile in that side. And there's really nothing else we can do. All these guys in through here, I'm going to allow them to stand over this. So we're going to go to schedule. Sorry, not schedule. We're going to go across to station. And we're going to station ourselves here. I'm just going to unpause. They're lying down. They're tired. Now this one has been locked away. This is a mangled corpse. And we've got to hope that basically the mangled corpse is splattered here with Cole's blood as well. So it really did try to take Cole. This is Erath, the expedition leader. Now, as Cole is now gone, we're just going to find where Cole actually is. Because it says no functioning hospital. That's a real problem. We should have a functioning hospital. Why is that not functioning? So Cole's in this bed. We've got the guys outside. I'll just keep that one where that is. So still 5 hostiles. Let's have a quick look and see. Oh, you know what it is? We haven't got a doctor assigned. So we need to go back to the... even though we made a chief medical dwarf, we need to come back in and assign that one as the doctor, which was Cyril. So Cyril is now the doctor. And we now have a functioning hospital. He will come and do his best to try to sort things out. We've still got vomit and stuff like this. Now we've got to be careful that Cole doesn't die. It's seriously injured. So this could be terrible if things actually happen here. So she's unconscious. If she dies, we're in trouble because then we'll have a zombie in this part of the fortress. And so, you know, she's not damaged enough for that to be a problem. But let's just go back up the top here and keep on digging all this stuff out. And we'll just keep on watching. Got another alert. Okay, oh, both of these have been found dead. Both Erdem and the Dwarf Mace Lord. Mace Lord, wow. Okay, so that was actually... Let's go and see what actually happened through here. So they both ended up dying from the Merc. So it looks like the Merc actually ended up killing them. So... And who's this? Oh, this is the... this is the cursed Merc. This is actually... This one won and this one's now seriously injured. Look at the health, the description. So, arm is broken. So, is he still carrying stuff? It looks like he's still carrying his spear. Oh, wow. Do we actually go after him? We've got another set of equipment now that we can make use of, that's all. And if we could get him, this would be awesome equipment to get hold of. But that was a difficult fight, even with someone that was unarmed. I don't think we worry about it. He's basically unbreakable. Yeah, so this Merc really makes them into crazy units. It's now going to chase down that other horse, I think. So we'll just stay where we are. And nothing's come back to life yet that was down in the other side. Let's have a look and see if the other one was mangled. Where was it? It was in here. Yep, this is the Domas with his steel mace. mangled corpse. So hopefully they won't come back to life. But that means we're not going to be able to trade, guys. Trading is done in our fortress. The Merc is now finished. I'm just going to go and resume construction there. And I think I might go let everyone... No, I won't, because of the other one still outside. There's still 4 hostiles on the map. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's fine. F2, let's just keep on what... Oh, who's this? Erdem's died. Damn it. And Erdem is not mangled. Wow. Okay, so somehow Erdem died? And I don't know why. Erdem's corpse. This is all of the equipment that it had. And we didn't actually have any messaging. No, Erdem did get damaged by the... I don't think... Actually, maybe we better be careful. If we go down to F4, it could be that if they get scratched, it ends up... You know, if they get damaged, this one could die easily then, in that case. Let's just wait until we get other alerts. Now, Erdem is a real problem. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to dump whatever we possibly can. So let's just go back up the top here again. And we're going to have to try to sort of work our way forward here with a few little things. We need to put a door here urgently. So doors and hatches, door. Throw one in there. Glum prong door will actually be okay. Inside this zone, I'm going to start to build a stockpile. And so this stockpile is going to be essentially for dumped items, or it's going to be essentially for items that are things that we need to sort of throw away. So I'm just going to go and accept. And in this case, it's going to be a corpses stockpile and a refuse stockpile. So I've got both of those in through there. So I'll just go to corpses and just go to custom. And then I'm going to go to refuse and going to go all. Now this also includes corpses as well. So it sort of is a bit of a double hit, but it's actually not a dumping stockpile. And we're going to have to also manually go in and dump different bodies. So as this gets built out, in fact, this is probably the reason this has probably stopped digging. It may be outside of our zone. If we have a quick, yeah, it is. Look at that. We've got a little bit more that we need to put into this zone. So I'm just going to go and paint this area. I'm actually now really scared for the future of our fortress. We've now got a cascading problem of things dying that may not stop. People are still coming back up here to get things. Let's just let it run forward for a little bit. Now, why haven't anyone noticed that Erdem's dead? Turkey's now going down. That's okay. This one still hasn't come back. We've got one injured citizen, which is just coal. Oh, the other one was injured. Maybe it was more injured than I thought. It may have bled out. All right, so one injured citizen. Let's have a quick look at the health and treatment. This is all the stuff that needs to be done. We can't do any setting because we actually don't have a traction bench. We don't have chains for a traction bench. So that can't be done. This is all her vomit as she came through. God, she's had a torrid time here in the fortress. Welcome to Skulls Earths, which is the name of our fortress. This is not good. Not good at all, guys. So we've got these now coming through. That's all fine. Let's just go back up the top here again. I'm thinking that this is where the action will then take place. Our military dwarves are absolutely exhausted. Oh boy, boy, oh boy. Let's just wait and see if anything comes back to life. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go and I'm going to create another zone in here for dumping. So I'm just going to actually, instead of just having a stockpile, I'm going to actually go to an actual area. So this is going to be a garbage dump. which is going to be completely different again. So garbage dump, and we're going to just place that in here and then make it bigger as we go. So that will be okay. We'll accept that one. And so anything we say, we want this thing dumped, it will then go to that particular zone. And so this can also be useful. And so if we do something in through here, if I go and grab this mangled corpse, it's currently, actually no, it's not. I thought it had been designated as blocked, but we're going to just click on it to be dumped. So it's not locked off, but it's now going to be dumped, and that will be dumped in here. So that ultimately will then, if it does come back to life, I'm going to do the same here as well to this corpse. So dump it. Now this is being set to probably be taken anyway, so let's just leave that happening. Somebody's going to come and grab it. I've got the one military dwarf in here at this stage. Leaving everything. We've got 3 hostiles on the map, 1 injured citizen still. Okay, that's now been set up. Still haven't got the door in place. We need to get that door done fairly quickly. Let's go to the stockpile. Let's go and repaint the stockpile and make it just take the top half of what we're doing through here. Maybe that one as well. Maybe even that one. We'll remove this. And then we'll just get the dumping area down a bit bigger down the bottom here. So we'll just go to this one and just go and repaint this zone. So we'll just go across into here. And so this will be, normally would have these things outside, but we can't afford to do that because if necromancers come, then we've got to then deal with that as well. So there's a lot we have to then contend with here. So let's just keep it going. No one's come to pick up the body yet. Still got 3 hostiles outside, 4 hostiles now. We've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, here we go. We've now got ourselves a zombie. Erdem's corpse has now come back to life. And so this is now 3 times stronger than when Erdem was alive. So we now have a resurrected zombie. And unfortunately, we've got some thread sitting inside this door, which means that it's going to be able to break through the other door. Our military now has to go in and do a kill order on this zombie. So we'll just go and confirm that one. So kill Erdem. So kill off one of our companions. We've now lost this. We've lost 2 dwarves now in our fortress. Let's just go and see what happens. The zombie is slowly making its way. Now the zombie will have whatever damage was done to Erdem is going to be the same stuff. If we have a look at the description. So her head is torn open, her upper body is torn open, her neck is torn open, her lower body is torn open, her right true ribs is mangled. Now she shouldn't really have any real problems with being able to move around. So here we go. We've now got the fighting happening. We shouldn't have any real issue with this. We are on the ground. We've been knocked down. But ultimately, she's dropped all of her armor, so we don't have to worry about that. We can't close this door because of this thread. So the thread is a big, big problem. So we need to smash her head, essentially, and damage her. Let's just let it run forward a little bit. Now we're fighting inside here. Shouldn't be running away. Yeah, so we've still got the fights coming. They're both now smacking into her. Have a quick look at her description. Yeah, we're seeing a lot more. Her skull is fractured. We're trying to smash her brain. We need to basically break her brain. So we'll just keep this one coming. We're not seeing any other blood, which is the next telltale sign that something's amiss. There we go. We've actually now smashed her. It's now a mangled corpse, which means it shouldn't come back to life, but it still may. By using crushing weapons, we don't actually cut pieces off that will then cause a problem. Now that's Rakusk we've now got 2 injured citizens. Rakusk was actually now damaged. This one's mangled as well. This one is now mangled. I'm going to allow my dwarfs to just go off and do whatever they have to do, but we now have a second injured dwarf. Let's have a look and see what happens when we actually have an injured dwarf. If we go to Rakusk, we can see he's injured. We can have a quick look and see what's actually going on in terms of his description. Just his neck has been torn open by the zombie. And so he's just got to go in and get that one fixed up. And this will be a good indication as to how things work in the actual fortress. So if we follow him down, he will make his way down to the bottom. He will then go to one of the beds. And so he's now in this bed in through here. At that point, We've got our chief medical dwarf will come and diagnose the patient. Let's go and follow him around for a little while. So he'll diagnose, check out what's going on, and now he's going to go and clean the patient. And now he's going to go and get a bucket. He's going to go up the top where there's water, pick up the water, come back down again, clean the patient. Now he's going off to suture the patient. He's going to go and get some thread. Hopefully he gets it from that doorway. Nope. Now the door has actually been fixed up, so that's actually all right. We'll just keep on going back down. And he'll now suture the patient. And he's now going off to store an item back in the bin again. So he doesn't, like, he's now done what he has to do. So that's all good. We've got the miner. Actually, who's the miner fighting? Erdem's not alive again. No, Erdem's still down. Need to dump this corpse pretty badly. So we'll just go and click on dump. So eventually someone will come and dump these. But this is, yeah, just what we have to sort of end up doing. We can now lock this one off if we have to. So we've got the 2 injured citizens, 3 hostiles on the map still. 1, 2, 3. We're not looking seeing the other dwarf. If we have a look at the actual bodies, maybe. Has it gone off the map? It may have gone off the map. Let's have a look and see what's actually around. So if we go we've still got the 2 horses that we had. We've got the other animals outside. Okay, then we've got the outpost liaison is actually still in the fortress. And these have actually turned into merc husk corpses as well. So they've actually flown through the through that merc. So it affects the undead as well as the living. Then we've got Dishmab, the farmer, is down. We've got the dwarven merchant. We've got Dusum the merchant, the mace lord. Then all of the different ravens that we've actually then killed. Erdem's corpse has also been killed now as well, and then the horse. But they haven't come back to life. So I'm thinking that we're probably safe enough with the mangling that's gone on. God, this is such an interesting fortress. This is why the fun is with a capital F, and it really does mean failure to a large degree. I'm thinking we're now safe to allow our guys to come out and try to fix this up. We have to take opportunities when we can. We also have all the dead things now down in here, which we can still do. This has been mangled, so I think we're actually okay there. There's nothing there that we really need. But this stuff in here, I would love to get all this stuff inside. So everything that we're going to trade with us, we get for free. So let's beeline for all this. Now this one as well, we've got things. See how most of this stuff has actually been we can't get access to it. I'm going to unlock this. I'm going to unlock all of this stuff actually, just to make doubly sure, so we can pick everything else up. The mangled bodies we'll actually go and grab. So we'll just let everything actually come back out. So again, our little group of dwarves is going to have to go outside and pick all that up. I think that the merc is now gone. Yeah, we need cloth. We're out of cloth. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up stuff from here. Yep, that's okay. That's okay. Still functioning. Okay, so we're now going to clear our civilian alert, which is just underneath where I am. So clear civilian alert. Bang, they're now allowed outside. So we now just go and close off. We've only got 2 dwarves in the military at this stage, which is a little bit dangerous. I'm going to start to now bring things downstairs as well. I'm just going to make one of the stockpiles that we have. I'm just going to go and make into one big large sort of catch-all. I'll do it in here actually. So I'll just go in and build a stockpile. That one there, accept. This will be for all. So I'm just going to do that one. I can go back into custom because I don't want to have food in here really. Well, certainly not most. It's prepared meals I'll leave in. Unprepared fish I'll leave in. the stuff that we sort of missed before. Let's just leave that where that is for now, and we can get rid of the other stockpile eventually. Other things we don't want to have in here is we don't want stone in here, so we'll just go none. Don't want wood in here either, we'll just go no wood. That's about it, I think. Everything else I think we can sort of deal with. So let's just leave that there. And we'll just go back up the top and just watch. We'll unlock this door, finally. So that's now passable. God, with all the stuff that we've done. Now this bone is in the way. This mangled head, I'm just going to go to the mangled head and dump that as... That's actually been designated to be moved. And so that will eventually will then make this back into a secure location. You can see how dangerous this all becomes. Let's just watch what actually happens in through here now. Nobody's really moving outside yet. There they go. Let's just go back up the top. And here they come. Now we've got, that's Oodle, the woodcutter. 68 years old, that's okay. Yep, that's fine. So we've got 2 injured citizens. They're both next to each other. So Cole is seriously injured, but he's resting. So he'll probably live. And Rakusk should be okay, but still, if we have a look at the health, we have a look at the treatment, just needs dressing, which means needs cloth. So we may be able to find cloth from the merchants that we're bringing the stuff in. So there may be some cloth out there that we need to go and get. Let's just go to F1 again and have a bit of a look to see what they're actually doing. So what are you up to? Oh, that's the liaison is leaving. So he's making a run for it right now. Do we see anyone else come back over here? There's cheese on the ground. Oh, there's heaps of stuff. We really need to get all this in. There we go. There we go. Grab it all, guys. It's going to take forever to do this. What I might do is I think I'll actually leave it here, guys, for this episode. There's been, again, a hell of a lot that's actually happened here. Without a real lot of progress in the actual fortress. But, again, heaps and heaps of fun. So they're just going to come and pick up all of the stuff that was left over here. Okay, I only got 1 injured citizen left, which will be Cole. So we'll just do our best. We don't want Cole to die. We've got a population of 7 again, so we've lost 2 more. And 1 of our military, so we'll probably have to go and replace the military. Eventually they'll come and do all of this. We want to get the food before it goes off. God, it's interesting. 3 hostiles on the map. Yeah, they're just hovering around there, not really doing much. Still got 1 injured citizen back up through here. F1. These still haven't been built. These need cages, so everyone's just trying to do their work. They're going off, and more of them are going in to pick up the leftovers in through here. Anyway, I will leave it here, guys. So this is becoming quite the the actual adventure, isn't it? But yeah, I'll I really need to try to get into a position where I'm actually moving forward in meaningful ways, and we've not really been able to do that yet. We've been okay with our security, but we haven't really finessed things. We've got so much more that we need to do. In fact, what I might do is we've got one of our labor menu things in through here. This is a high master miner now because he's been doing so much mining. I'm going to unlock him from doing this job, just so he can go off and do other things. So he'll go off and now help with the other work, because at the moment we need to try to get all of this stuff in from outside. So let's just go and let everyone go and deal with that. He'll be one of the only ones that are actually happy with what's going on in the fortress. There they go. So more and more of them are going. That's all good. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. I'm loving this fortress. I'm absolutely loving it. Actually, just as I was leaving, I saw a thing scurry through the gate. I thought, oh my God, what's that? What's actually happening? It's actually a cat, and it's actually a new arrival. So we've actually now got a kitten. This is somebody's pet. Let's have a look and see who's arrived. Some migrants have arrived, and I didn't see this actually happen. We've got another woodcutter. God, we've got so many of them. We've got a kid now as well. That will no doubt cause a lot of problems. We have another. We've got an animal caretaker. Not that that really matters that much at this stage. Back over through here, we have ourselves a lamb. Again, it's named, so it's somebody's pet. We've got ourselves a herbalist again, which is useless to us. A blacksmith could be useful with what we sort of need, and that's good. So we've got a fair few that are coming in from the edge of the map. Let's just see if there's more. We've got another animal caretaker. Well, I'll probably have to make my military up with those guys, to be honest. So they're all moving in. They'll move in. They'll just get settled. One thing we didn't actually do was to set up like an area for them to all to sleep in, and we really need to do that. I'm just going to go and do that downstairs for now. Probably even just in here, just in a little corner. So let's just go and set something up just as a dormitory. It's not ideal, but we've just got to do something. And we've been dealing with so many emergencies that just by having a few of these, I'll just go in and grab. What I will do is just go into the planning phase. I'm just going to go and build just a series of beds. I haven't even got them all built. All right, and then I'm just going to go to a zone. So even with those done there, we've got the bedrooms or the dormitory. We want to have a dormitory. So I'm just going to make that into a dormitory. Accept. And that's it. I can actually make it into a named dormitory, but I won't bother. So it's just an unnamed dormitory. That will ultimately be where the dwarves will then at least be able to rest. So we've got some migrants that have arrived now. So we need a splint. Yeah, cancels immobilizing a break. So we need to now. We've made use of the one splint that we brought with us. Let's just go back up to our workshop layer, which I think is F4, and we'll go down to the carpenter. Go into add new task, and we need to make wooden splints. A new task. We're going to. We need a crutch as well. Ultimately, so go with 2 splints and a crutch. Yeah, so I'm sort of thankful that we've got these other dwarves that have arrived, because we are going to be needing them to help with getting things sorted. But they're actually going to start by just congregating in here and then move off. Now, this is, again, not the ideal location for them. But anyway, I thought I'd just show that because we now have these other things. I'm going to bring this pet downstairs. So if we just go down to F5, come back down to this location, grab that location there, and then add in. I tend to just leave the cats to have the run of the fort, but we'll just bring this one down. Now the turkeys still haven't been brought down here. There's just so much that we're dealing with. It's very, very difficult. So we'll just go up to F1 again. Sorry, F1 is the outside. F2 is really where the action has taken place. These still haven't been dumped yet. I might even dump. Oh, these have been designated. So these have actually, we've got tasks to move these into the garbage dump. So if we have a look at the actual tasks themselves, there's going to be heaps of items now stored for storing. Yeah, that's all fine. Let's just keep it going. Cat's running around. So they're now going off and starting to do all their work. Doors are now completed. We still haven't built this door. Excuse me. Still only 3 hostiles. Needs an empty bucket. All right, that's another one that we need to start building. We're going to have to get lots and lots of buckets ultimately for all sorts of different things. So we need the buckets. Again, to just keep the wounds clean. So if we just go down to our work orders again, I will actually add this one in as an actual. See how we've got things like automatically milking the animals now. We can actually, I think we can milk that goat that came in. This is stuff that will just happen automatically. Just going to add a new one in. So the one we want to add in is going to be from the carpenter's workshop. And it's going to be buckets, a wooden bucket. Go to the bottom, we'll just make one at a time as required. And then we'll just go and, if the amount of buckets is, let's just change this number to 3. So if it's at most 3, the amount of logs is greater than, say, 3, I guess. That'll do. Enter. So we'll just make one bucket at a time. So we need all these things just to keep our hospital going. There's so much going on here. Anyway, let's just watch. So they're coming and picking up all sorts of different bits and pieces. They have to pick them up one by one. There's still a lot here, like a hell of a lot. Now we're seeing things like a steel warhammer. That's fantastic. Bronze spears. This is great. This is great stuff. Anyway, now I can actually... The kids will help with hauling. The kids are actually quite useful. That is quite useful. That one still hasn't been built. The cat's just wandering around doing different things. It'll essentially end up destroying a lot of stuff that's around. As soon as we see any sort of weather, we're going to have to stop. Cage traps, we need cages built as well. It's dragging different things. That's taking a long time. So what are you dragging? Oh, a copper cage. Okay, so it's bringing one of those down. That's fine. It's now sort of placing it in there, which is fine. Again, we just lock both of those in. So ultimately there'll be a lot of fighting out in around here, and we should then capture a lot of things within that fighting that occurs. So we're now setting mechanisms in through here for these cage traps. Cage trap, lock that one. Okay, we've still got a fair big amount of things in through there that we have to go and get as well. Like there's just heaps of stuff here. Now been done. You can just tell by the colour that one's not. Probably won't be able to because of the rock that's underneath there. They're getting wood, that's good. So we've now got 14 dwarves actually, so we're now going to be able to produce things a bit faster. What I think I'll do is I think I will leave it here. So we're placing the cages in. Oh, that is actually working. Just lock that one away. The dwarves, the Cole is no longer injured, but we better go and check. F4. She's now asleep. She's still seriously injured, but it's no longer, like she's been addressed. So if we look at the health and look at the treatments, she does need immobilization, which we can't do it on her left upper arm. Everything else has actually been sort of, as much as we can, we've actually fixed things up. Her description is going to still be, it's not too bad. She's got a broken hand now. Her nose is broken. Her upper spine is bruised, but not broken, which is lucky. So she'll be okay. Like, she will be okay. She's just been in absolutely everything. Anything that's happened, she's actually been there. So she's asleep on the surgery table and through here. Now, these turkeys should be making their way down to the bottom of the fortress. That's all okay. Yep, so everything is still sort of thumping along. I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. We've done a little bit more this time, but not a hell of a lot. But we've had so much to deal with. And again, it's because of the difficulty that I've actually set for myself. It never normally is anywhere near like what we're seeing through here. This is, but I think there's a lot to learn from the way that the game can be played. You know, with what we're actually doing. So, you know, it's sort of like you do have to, not as much as what I have to, but you do have to jump around and solve all the different problems that come in. Now, the fact that we've got like a bit of a dormitory. That will then at least satisfy that need for them to be able to do what they want. Now, they're also going to be complaining that they can't sit at tables and eat. I could just build a really, really fast eating area through here. So we're going to now have a few beds. What I might just do is make a very small dining hall just in this room, and just use that for now. So starting to now bring things down here, which is good. You've got the sheep leather bag. That's okay. Let's just go across and go to build. Go to furniture, tables. We go in planning mode. I'll just put say 3 tables on either side, so 6 tables in total. And we'll then just go across, and with furniture, we'll just go and create some chairs. That's all we need for a dining hall. That's it. So let's just make a tiny little dining hall here. This will be very, very temporary. So this will become dining hall. And that way they'll actually bring their food down in here just to go and eat. So that's actually good. Accept. And we can allocate that to specific people, but we just want it to be general. So it's an unnamed dining hall. So that will make them a little bit more comfortable to go and eat there. We could also make that the meeting room rather than where we actually had it, but I think I'll just leave everything where it is at this point in time. There's still a lot to do. These haven't come back to life. Nothing else has come back to life yet, so we're sort of pretty lucky. I think with mangling it with the hammers, it certainly is making a big difference. We need more splints built, but we'll try to get them built. Still just the 3 hostiles. Let's just see where they are. Yeah, they're all just over here. They haven't moved. They have not moved. We've got the door in position here now. We haven't used this dump at all, but we will eventually. Ah, they've just taken the yak in. Okay, so the yak has now been moved out from the cage that was outside. That's actually something that we probably want to either... And the horses as well, then they're pretty useless to us as 2 male horses. When we get us re-established, we will be wanting to butcher them, I think. Let's just quickly go back down to F5, which is down the bottom here. If they start to eat too much, we're going to end up with problems here. Yeah, that's all okay at this point in time. Well, let's go into this location and go and establish a bit more. So this is the animals. Now that's a female. Great, we can milk that. That's useful. And then the stray savvy cow. This one can survive anywhere, so we don't really need to do anything with that one. I'll just let that one run around for now. The turkeys don't really they don't have to live off the they're not grazing animals, so they don't have to be down here. But I'll leave them down here for now. At least this is very, very secure, which is great. Nobody's come down to do... Oh, hang on, this is all planning mode. See, it's blue? It shouldn't be blue. I'm just going to go back and redo that. I had it in planning mode, like this one here, so I'm just going to go and redo those, just so we can pick up whatever we can from the ground. I was wondering why it was taking so long for anything to come and actually go and take that. Now, the only way... there's nothing. These are all essentially trees that would end up growing. The only way we can get rid of them is to make them into roads. This one here, I would like to put more into here. So I could actually go and make a big road in here, which would then just give me basic dirt. But I'll leave it where it is. I just need to start with some dirt, that's all. Cancels drink. We can see that we've got a fair bit of drink, got a fair bit of food now, so we're getting more and more of that. Let's go up to F1. We're starting to now milk animals, which we need buckets for as well. Again, just make sure that all of these are set to so that they won't go and actually open them up. All right, we're starting to get on top of things now. Okay, I'm going to leave it where it is, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next exciting episode. Who knows what will happen to Cole in that episode? Anything could happen. In fact, is Cole off the bench yet? Have a look at Cole. Where is Cole? Yep, out and about, doing things. So Cole is okay. Items is no longer carrying its a hammer. It's her axe. So she's picking up equipment. So she dropped her her axe in the early part of the days. Let's just go and watch what she does. Has she got it already? No, she hasn't yet. There she goes. She got axe in hand. So she'll now just go back and start working, and she's moving fairly quickly, which is great health wise. Yes, she's still got a lot of injuries, but is overall she's come through it, which is fantastic. I've really become quite attached to her as one of the members of the fortress, which is great. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.